And welcome to another edition of Wildcat Football here in Paris, Texas. Sorry for the late delay, and I'm sorry we had to wait for that delay for the Rangers to be unsuccessful in their game tonight against the Houston Astros. The Rangers now losing that particular series 2-3. The Astros have 3 games. The Sulphur Springs Wildcats be playing the Paris Wildcats tonight up here in Paris. Delayed start for us because of the Ranger game, but they've already had the coin toss. And John Mark, welcome.
Chad, thank you very much. Not easy getting up here this afternoon.
Yeah, bad traffic on Highway 19 because of a wreck, and so everybody getting here late. So, did you see the result of the coin toss?
I did. Paris won the toss, and as usual, the team that won the toss declined to the second half, so the Wildcats will receive, and they will be going from our left to our right.
So, if I've got my bearings here right, we got a little bit of wind, and that's going to be north.
Right.
The north will be at the Wildcat backs as they receive the J. Hud Chevrolet kickoff, and we're ready for the national anthem and the invocation. Some kind of flyover just then. And good evening, sports fans, Wildcat fans, as the Sulphur Springs Wildcats get ready to take on the Paris Wildcats. John Mark, I think Sulphur Springs, of course, be favored in this game, but we were favored in that last game, and the first half was just kind of a little scary, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I tell you, the thing to look at with Paris, they are 3-4, but they have played 3 state-ranked teams already this year. They lost to Salina 40-9. Salina's number 2 in 4A Division 1.
Right.
They lost to Van 28-27. Van's number 10 in 4A Division 2. And they lost to Pleasant Grove 45-0.
Oh, wow.
And Pleasant Grove is number 3 in 4A Division 2. So take that into account when you look at that 3-4 record that Paris has, that they have played a very, very tough schedule. Now, they lost to Salina 40-9. They lost to Pleasant Grove 45-0. So, take that into account as well. But they have really played a tough schedule. And so, but they do come in here tonight 2-0 in the district. Sulphur Springs is 2-0. So this is, in effect, a battle for first place. Anna also has a 2-0 record.
Right.
So the team that wins here tonight, you have to expect that Anna will win their game
They're playing
at Community, or they actually at Anna. They're playing Community.
I got you.
And so presuming that Anna wins that game tonight, whoever wins this game will be tied with Anna for first place in the district.
And we get ready to receive the J. Hud Chevrolet kickoff. The Wildcats moving left to right on your radio dial tonight. And they're back all the way back on the 5-yard line. A little bit of wind, but I don't think it's going to affect the kick tonight.
Paul Torres has it teed up for the Paris Wildcats at the 40-yard line. And we are underway. Deep kick. coming at the 9-yard line and taking on the run here for the Wildcats. And the return out over the 30 to the 32-yard line by Chris Adams for Sulphur Springs.
And so the Wildcats will get set up here for their first set of downs, and we'll see whether they can make something of it. Like you said, the 32-yard line for the Wildcats, and Wildcat football is underway. We got Matt Jansen on the camera tonight. Of course, John Mark Dempsey, you've already heard on play-by-play, and I'm your color commentator, Chad Young, trying to keep things on track here. It's kind of a rough night getting up here. We almost didn't make it.
And we have the great Tony Flippin in the booth.
That's right. We'll hear from him later on.
On first down, handoff up the middle, and this is going to be a gain of about 3 yards or so for Sulphur Springs out to the 35-yard line.
I didn't know Tony always went by the great Tony Flippin every time. I'll have to work that in. Yes.
And that looks like Malachi Rowland for Sulphur Springs, starting the game at running back for the first time this season. So Malachi Rowland picks up 3 yards, and it is second and 7.
Saving him early on in the season, right?
That's right, because he had an injury in the preseason. Fake to Rowland, and Brady Driver rolling out and passing over on the far side, intended for Wyatt Watson, but out of his reach, just shy of the 50-yard line. So we will have a 3rd down and 7 for Sulphur Springs out the 35-yard line.
Paris defender went up for that and tried to get his hands on that. I'm not sure how close he got. And still adjusting to the lights here on the far side of the field, on the visitor side. The Wildcat fans, just maybe 75, maybe 100 fans have made it already, but probably still many on their way.
Cameron Jefferson in the ballgame at running back for Sulphur Springs on this 3rd and 7. Brady Driver will run up the middle. He lowers his shoulder, dives across the 45-yard line up to the 47-yard line for a 1st down.
Yes, he needed 7 and got about 11, 12 on that, and he's going to move the chains, and now we're going to have our Hooten's Hardware 1st down as the Wildcats are moving a little bit closer to midfield, trying to get into Paris territory.
1st down Wildcats. This is an empty backfield, 3 wide outs to the far side and 2 to the near side. Driver appears to be changing the play. Walks up near the offensive line and tells them something there. So now this 1st down play from the 47-yard line. It is a bubble screen to the far side, and it is complete, and this will go for another 1st down for Sulphur Springs, and the catch is made by Jackson Hare, and he is taken out of bounds at the Paris 41-yard line.
Jackson Hare very quick when he gets that ball, and he made a lot of moves there. Getting into Paris territory, the next set of downs for the Wildcats are going to be set up on the Paris 40-yard line. So this Hooten's Hardware 1st down for the Wildcats, the Sulphur Springs Wildcats. We have to make that distinction, sorry.
13 yards on the gain, 1st down. Here's a flea flicker. The handoff to Jefferson, toss back to Brady Driver, and Driver going to be sacked. Yep. But there's also a penalty flag down on the play. Looks like the sack made by Salvador Gomez for Paris.
The pocket just collapsed there for the Wildcats, and that's probably going to be a hold. It is.
Holding call against Paris.
They're going to mark that off against Sulphur Springs.
Yes, I'm sorry. I said Paris. A holding call against Sulphur Springs. That's right.
Yep.
And, personally, I think I would take the down there. You had a sack and a loss of about 4 yards. So you get 2nd and 14. They take the penalty, so it's 1st and 20. But coaches today almost always will take the yards over the down.
We need to maybe get on their headsets and give a little advice to the Paris coaches there, John Mark.
So 1st and 20 from the 50-yard line. Brady Driver, hands off, and this goes to Cameron Jefferson between the tackles. Jefferson, a couple of steps to his right, then cuts it back. He's into Paris territory to the 46-yard line.
They're going to give him 4 yards on that particular carry, so almost back where it would have been anyway. It's going to be 2nd and 16 instead of 2nd and 14, right? As it would have been if they declined the penalty.
That's right. A good point.
And but the Wildcats taking their time getting up to the line of scrimmage, trying to just make a good set of these downs here and get on down the field.
We have no score. This is the first possession of the game. 2nd and 16 for Sulphur Springs at the Paris 45. Pass over the middle, and it is caught at the 25-yard line, and that is Chris Adams for Sulphur Springs, a leaping catch at the 25.
Absolutely. That ball was kind of overthrown, but he jumped up and pulled that down, and the Wildcats are moving the chains. They're deep into Paris territory now. 9:02 left and counting here in this first quarter. 0-0 your score, and the Wildcats coming up with another Hooten's Hardware first down. The ball on the 25-yard line.
Malachi Rowland back in the ball game at running back. They give it to Rowland, and Rowland starts off up the middle and then cuts to the far side, and he is inside the 15 down to about the 12-yard line of Paris for a gain of 13 yards. How quick is he?
That's going to move the chains again. It'll be another Hooten's Hardware first down, and so 8:37 and counting here in this first quarter. The Paris Wildcats making some wholesale changes on defense right now, changing out some of the big front line, and Wildcats taking their time getting up there.
First down and 10 for Sulphur Springs at the Paris 12-yard line. Brady Driver in the shotgun. Has Rowland a step to his right. They give it to Rowland, going left. Rowland around the corner and turns upfield and is inside the 5-yard line and close to a first down over on the far side. Malachi Rowland.
I think they're going to say he stepped out a little bit short of making that first down, but he's inside the 5, absolutely. So it's going to be, they're going to call that 2nd and 1.
Yeah, he's at the 4, so we'll call this, second and about 1, maybe a little bit more than 1. Snap to Driver. Driver going left. Driver at the goal line. Touchdown.
And Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op says, way to go Wildcats, as Brady Driver calls his own number and takes it on into the end zone to put 6 points on the board. 8:04 left in this first quarter. The Sulphur Springs Wildcats already up 6-0 over the Paris Wildcats as we await Mr. Rodriguez's extra point.
Eric Rodriguez, 26 of 27 on his PATs this season, and the kick is up, and it is good. 7-0. Sulphur Springs leads. 8:04 left to go first quarter.
We'll take a break, and we'll be back with the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff and more Wildcat football here in just a moment. And we're back with Sulphur Springs Wildcat football here on KSST. The Wildcats already up over the Paris Wildcats, 7-0. 8:04 left in this first quarter. The Wildcats come out and place the tee on the 40-yard line to get ready for the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff, kicking left to right as our Wildcats made quick work of their possession there, marching all the way down the field, John Mark, and getting it into the end zone.
68-yard drive and 9 plays for Sulphur Springs. Key plays on the drive, a 12-yard run by Brady Driver, 15-yard pass, or it was a 13-yard pass to Jackson Hare, and a 21-yard pass to Chris Adams.
Great, high kick.
Diagonal kick to the far side, taken at the 25-yard line for Paris. There will be a return coming to the near side. Nice return here across the 40 to the 43-yard line. And on the return for Paris, it is Braden Beck. And Grayson Hardy for Sulphur Springs with the tackle. He is the number 1 tackler now on the Wildcat team with 74 tackles.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
And covering on the kickoff there.
Yeah, that was a pretty high kick for Eric Rodriguez, kind of not like his normal kicks. He usually kicks them pretty deep. There's not much wind to catch it, but he kicked it high. It was fielded short, and the runner made good work of that and moving it on up almost to midfield.
Paris operates out of the spread. Trevin Hohenberger is the quarterback, and he is looking for a block, and he's not going to find one. He is swarmed by Wildcats, and among the first Wildcats to get there was Bo Loggins.
Yeah, they're going to sack him for a loss, but they're going to give him forward progress, and they're really not going to record a loss on that. Well, they'll record the sack, of course, but it's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Paris Wildcats.
They call it no gain. So 2nd and 10 for Paris at its own 44-yard line, moving right to left, man in motion. from left to right. And the handoff goes to the man in motion. He is across the line of scrimmage. That is Washington for Sulphur Springs, Marcavius Washington, and he will have the first down in Sulphur Springs territory at the 44-yard line.
They moved the sticks for the Paris Wildcats, and Paris coming up to the line of scrimmage very quickly, and they've got 4 receivers out on the far side, John Mark.
12-yard gain on that previous play. And now on first down, go off tackle, do the Paris Wildcats, and that is Tadrick Dawson, 5'11", 215-pound running back, just gets 1 yard there.
Yeah, that they were trying to move up the line of scrimmage and call that play very quickly, catch the Sulphur Springs off guard, and it didn't happen. Wildcats
leading 7-0. This is the first possession for Paris. Option play, Trevin Hohenberger. He is the son of the head coach for the Sulphur Springs Wildcats.
No, the Paris Wildcats.
Thank you. He is the son of the head coach for the Paris Wildcats. Yes, Steve Hohenberger.
Right.
Watch me on that.
That's right. I'm gonna keep you in line as much as I can, John Mark, because I'm going to need some help too. They've moved on up. They've just got 2 yards. It looks like maybe just 1. They're calling it on the scoreboard, but 3rd and 1.5 is what the Paris Wildcats are going to need. It's really crunch time here for your Sulphur Springs Wildcat defense.
Gain of 7 on that play. Snap to Hohenberger. Hohenberger, the play action pass, and now he's going to run it himself to the near side, and he is out of bounds at around the 24-yard line. That'll be another first down for Paris.
He got plenty of yardage there. He was scrambled. It was actually a real good scramble by their quarterback. They moved the chains. They're going to be set up just about the 25-yard line there in Sulphur Springs territory. They're moving the ball down the field pretty well as well tonight. 6:23 left in this first quarter. Sulphur Springs up over Paris 7-0.
Hohenberger reminds me a lot of Brady Driver.
He does, especially on that run.
Having watched him in video this week. First down from the Sulphur Springs 24. Hohenberger, play action, fakes the handoff, now moving in the pocket, feeling the pressure, throwing into the end zone, leaping. There's a flag down. Did he make the catch or not? There's a flag down, which I think will be pass interference against Sulphur Springs.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There no indication on whether he came down with it in the end zone.
Apparently, he came down out of bounds if he made the catch.
Yes. Let's see what the call is here.
Almost surely will be pass interference against Sulphur Springs, and it is. So that's going to be an automatic first down.
Right.
And the penalty will advance the ball to the 9-yard line.
Yes, so now the Paris Wildcats deep into the red zone in Sulphur Springs territory, and they've got a new set of downs. It's going to be 1st and goal from them on the 9-yard line.
Well, this has been a shootout so far. Wildcats leading 7-0. They scored on their first drive, and now Paris on their first drive, threatening at the Sulphur Springs 9-yard line. 2 backs in the backfield with Hohenberger. Handoff to Dawson. Tadrick Dawson over the left side, and he lowers his shoulder as he bangs down to about the 8-yard line.
The Sulphur Springs Wildcat defense trying to hold their own here, but the Paris Wildcats are just kind of advancing little by little, more and more down the field, and so it's time for Wildcat defense to dial it in.
Gain of 2 on that previous play. This is 2nd and goal from the 7. Hohenberger going to take it himself to the left side, cuts back at the goal line, touchdown Paris.
Yes, a good move by the Paris Wildcat quarterback as he called his own number and carried it on in just like Brady Driver did here just a few minutes ago. That's going to make it 6-7 pending the extra point attempt. 5:30 left in this first quarter.
7-yard run on the designed quarterback run. Basically a power sweep there by Trevin Hohenberger. Here's the snap and the kick. And the kick is good. 7-7, 5:38 left to go first quarter.
We'll be back with Sulphur Springs Wildcat football here on KSST up in Paris here in just a moment. And we're back with Sulphur Springs Wildcat football up here in Paris, Texas, playing the Paris Wildcats. It's all tied up, 7-all. All the Wildcats have 7 up here, 5:38 left in this first quarter, and the Sulphur Springs Wildcats are back to receive the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff as Paris Wildcats taking their time getting out on the field. They're still talking about it. I think they're probably going to kick it off, John Mark. I don't think they're going to be going for an onside kick, but they could be. There's a lot of discussion over here on the sidelines. We'll see what they come up with. Pretty good run for the Paris Wildcats, that drive.
56 yards, 9 plays. Big plays on the drive, a 12-yard run by Marcavius Washington, 12-yard run by the quarterback, Trevin Hohenberger, and then the 7-yard touchdown run by Hohenberger.
Yep.
And the game is tied.
And the more Wildcat fans showing up on the visitor side, probably doubled in size now since we started the game.
Yeah.
So
good crowd of Sulphur Springs folks over there.
Probably just as many as are on the home side tonight.
I would say so. Paul Torres with the kickoff, and it is taken by Jackson Hare at the 20-yard line. There goes Jackson Hare at the 50. It's a foot race, 40, 30, Hare, far side, 20, 10, and taken out of bounds inside the 10-yard line.
Jackson Hare running cross country for the Sulphur Springs Wildcats and doing it with the football as he makes it all the way down almost to the goal line. 5:26 left in this first quarter. It's 7-all, but the Wildcats are going to have fantastic field position as they're going to mark that ball, I think, about the 6-yard line, John Mark, looks like.
Yep, they say the 6. That is a 74-yard kickoff return by Jackson Hare for Sulphur Springs.
That's got to be the best of this season so far, I would guess, but the Wildcats coming up to the line of scrimmage for their first and goal from the 6-yard line. What a fantastic play. Fantastic run back by Hare.
Game tied 7-7, 5:26 left to go first quarter. It has been spectacular so far. Nobody can stop anybody else.
Right.
Paris had a nice kickoff return after Sulphur Springs scored.
So going to be a delay of game, looks like, against the Sulphur Springs Wildcats. Have made a late substitution there, and the play clock was down to double zeros. So
it's costly.
Yep, we're going to mark that one back. It's going to be first and goal, but the ball's going to be marked all the way back on the 11-yard line. Yeah. So they'll have to get it into the end zone. Won't be able to get a new set of downs because of that penalty. But Wildcats now taking their time as the play clock is counting down again from 20, and they're still over in a little huddle on the sideline. They're coming up to the line of scrimmage pretty quick here now.
As Chad told you, it's still a goal-to-go situation. They had the ball at the 6, and then that delay of game penalty pushes them back to the 11. But it is first down.
They better snap the ball. It's down to 2.
Sure is. There, they snapped it at 2. Brady Driver running to the short side of the field, which is the far side of the field, and that's a power sweep with your quarterback there, basically. And he was bumped out of bounds at about the original line of scrimmage, apparently the 6-yard line, or they say the 7.
They're going to call it the 7 on the scoreboard. Of course, it's the very far side of the field for us here, John Mark. So I'm going to get my trusty binoculars out and see where that guy is standing over there. There we go. Second and goal to go from the 7.
Game is tied at 7-7. Cameron Jefferson in the ball game at running back. Driver on this play.
Yep. That's it. He's in the end zone.
Line with Driver passing, and Chad, I was not able to see who made the catch.
I wasn't either. That was a great fake. They faked us out up here as well. And Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op says, way to go, Wildcats, as they put 6 more points on the board. Yeah, we were looking for a quarterback keeper, and then the handoff, and then he tossed it right over the front line, I believe, and took it right in for a touchdown.
Extra point here by Eric Rodriguez is no good.
So
wide right.
The very accurate Eric Rodriguez misses on that particular attempt. 13-7, Sulphur Springs over the Paris Wildcats. 5:13 left in this first quarter. We'll take a break and get ready for the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff. Be back to Wildcat football here in just a moment. And we're back with Sulphur Springs Wildcat football up here at the Paris Wildcat Stadium, Paris, Texas. And your Sulphur Springs Wildcats just put 6 more points on the board. They're up 13-7 over Paris. 5:13 left in this first quarter. They're doing a great job putting the ball into the end zone after that wonderful Jackson Hare return.
Again, here's the diagonal kickoff to the far side, taken at the 27-yard line for Paris, and not much of a return this time. In fact, really no return at all, or perhaps as far as the 29-yard line, but
looks like that's where they're going to mark it. Yeah, so not as good field position for the Paris Wildcats. They're going to be backed up on their own 29-yard line, and for their 1st and 10. So it's a pretty close game here so far, as the Paris Wildcats have marched their way down the field on their last possession, and then the Sulphur Springs Wildcats getting a wonderful break with that fantastic run back of that kickoff return. So
first down for Paris, and Hohenberger faking the handoff, keeping it himself, going to his right, now cutting it back, and he's up close to the 40-yard line and should have a first down.
Looks like, they're going to give that to him and move the chains. And they're coming right back up to the line of scrimmage, trying to keep the Wildcat defense on their heels here.
Made the 39-yard line, but it is still a first down for Paris. Hohenberger, the quarterback, handing off to Dawson. Tadrick Dawson going wide to the right side, makes the corner, turns upfield, and reaches the 45-yard line for a gain of 6 yards. By the way, the touchdown a moment ago by Sulphur Springs was by Wyatt Watson. Touchdown pass reception from Brady Driver, and for Wyatt Watson then, that will be his 5th touchdown of the season on a play-action pass. And the Wildcats lead at 13-7. The extra point was no good. This is 2nd down and 4. They keep it on the ground. Short gain. Big mass of humanity, big pile of bodies to the 47-yard line, a gain of about 2 yards. And again, that is Tadrick Dawson for Paris. And they're going to need about 1 more yard for the first down, less than that. It'll be 3rd and 1.
So both Wildcat offenses tonight are doing well, marching down the field here.
Wildcats need a stop here. 3rd and 1 at the Paris 48-yard line. Ball's on the far hash. Hohenberger looking to the sideline with 14 seconds on the play clock.
Changing the play.
2 wideouts to either side of the field. Running back to the left of Hohenberger. He takes the snap, runs it himself. Will have the first down, shedding tacklers as he goes into Sulphur Springs territory across the 45 to the 42-yard line. First down, Paris.
Well, yeah, they get into Sulphur Springs Wildcat territory, move the chains. It's going to be 1st and 10 on the Wildcat 43-yard line. Looks like really the 42.5 there, John Mark. But they're going to take their time getting up to the line of scrimmage this time. I think they call 2 plays at once, as they'll come right back to the line of scrimmage for that second one.
First down from the 42. Hohenberger in the shotgun, backpedal, setting up a tunnel screen. Coming this way is Washington. Washington giving ground way back there now, and he is going to be dropped for a big loss.
Let's see what kind of forward progress they give him, and not much. They're going to mark that all the way back into Paris territory on the 46-yard line, so that's going to be a huge loss there.
Back to the 46, as Chad told you, so that is 8. That's 12-yard loss on that tunnel screen. Now, Grayson Hardy is the first man to make contact, and also Laren Vaughn, the middle linebacker for Sulphur Springs, on that tackle. So this is now 2nd down and what, 22?
They say 20-yard lines. They had made a little progress. 2nd
and 20. Handoff goes to a wingback, slot back going from left to right, and for Paris, that is Dicurian Douglas, who gets a lot of those yards back up to the Sulphur Springs 46-yard line. So that is a gain of 8 yards. And now we have third down and long for Paris, still behind the chains. Third and 14. They need to reach the Sulphur Springs 32-yard line. Ball on the far hash. They move right to left. Sulphur Springs leading 13-7. Hohenberger option play. Left side, nobody to go to, and he will be ridden down. And the tackle made for Sulphur Springs by Braxton Wall, senior linebacker.
Yeah, he tried to keep scrambling and get a little bit closer to the sideline there, but Sulphur Springs Wildcats were having none of that and tackled him in the field of play there. Didn't even get him out of bounds. 1:20 left in this first quarter. Sulphur Springs up 13-7 over Paris.
Loss of 2 on the play. Now fourth down and
that
16. Fourth and 16, and apparently they will either go for it here in Sulphur Springs territory at the 48-yard line, or we might see a quick punt. And now Hohenberger dropping back a few more steps, and he may kick it away. He will.
And he hit into the zone line. Wildcat comes up with it. Sulphur Springs comes up with it and carries it over the far side of the field. And it's Wildcat ball on the 45-yard line in Paris territory.
So Hohenberger in the shotgun formation dropped back a yard or so, another step or two, but apparently hit one of his own linemen in the back with that kick, trying to kick it away quickly with not a lot of time to get it away in that short punt formation, as it turned out. And Sulphur Springs will have the ball on that faux pas by Paris at the Paris Wildcat 46-yard line.
Yeah, great break for your Sulphur Springs Wildcats, as they're going to be in Paris territory for their 1st and 10 right here, 46.
Sulphur Springs leading 13-7. Fake goes to Malachi Rowland. Brady Driver keeps it himself. Driver going wide to the far side, cuts it back. Close to the first down. We'll have the first down at the Paris 35-yard line for a gain of 11 yards. 38 seconds left to go in a very eventful first quarter here in Paris.
Yes, another Hooten's Hardware first down for your Sulphur Springs Wildcats as they move on down the field. Taking their time, 27 seconds and counting on the game clock. And less than that on about the same on the play clock. They'll snap a play here.
This should be the last play of the first quarter, barring an incomplete pass. Passing over the middle for Wyatt Watson, and it is incomplete, and we will have one more.
I wish you wouldn't call him like that, John Mark. How do you do that? Call the incomplete pass before he even knows, we even know he's going to pass. 10 seconds left in this first quarter. Sulphur Springs up 13-7 over Paris. It's going to be second down, and this will possibly be the last play of this quarter, and then the Wildcats, Sulphur Springs Wildcats, will be moving the other direction.
Pass was intended for Wyatt Watson, slanting in from right to left. He was hit hard just as the ball reached his hands. Now Driver on this second down and 10, going to run it up the middle. Driver on the loose. Driver lowers his shoulder, and he is all the way down to the 15-yard line of Paris on the final play of the first quarter. 20-yard gain by Brady Driver.
Brady Driver with that keeper.
Wildcats lead it 13-7 at the end of the first quarter.
We'll switch ends of the field here. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with Wildcat football here on KSST in just a moment. Football here on KSST up in Paris, where your Sulphur Springs Wildcats are up 13-7 over the Paris Wildcats. We just changed ends of the field, and the Wildcats, your Wildcats, will be moving right to left on your radio dial, and they're all the way down in the red zone. It's going to be 1st and 10 with the ball on the 16-yard line, and so John Mark, the Sulphur Springs looking pretty good.
Leading 13-7 as we start the second quarter, and first down at the Paris 16-yard line after that 20-yard run by Brady Driver to end the first quarter. Wildcats now moving from right to left. Driver going to his right, and he tosses it on a reverse here to Mitchell. Mitchell passing intended for Andres Corda, it is, a tight end and a junior, but it is incomplete. Now, that play worked for a touchdown at Liberty Ilo several weeks ago.
Right.
As we had Caden Mitchell in the ballgame. Of course, he is the backup quarterback. He was in the ballgame at a wideout, and they ran the reverse, but incomplete here. And second down and 10 from the 16-yard line. Driver handing off. Up the middle on the running play.
Nothing there on that one.
And that is either D. Rose Luke or it is Malachi Rowland. It is Malachi Rowland. They're both about the same size, which is not very big. And he gets to the 14-yard line for a gain of 2.
We're going to make that 3rd and 10. Wildcats get a new set of downs. They get on down to about the 6-yard line, but they really want to put it in the end zone, have 2 receivers left and right.
3rd and 8 from the 14. Driver throwing over the middle and incomplete. As a tremendous collision there at the goal line. The pass was intended for Chris Adams. And Adams not able to hold on to it. Driver put it there, but a terrific collision there between Adams and one of the Paris Wildcat defenders.
Yes, number 14 there for the Sulphur Springs Wildcats lost his helmet, so he'll have to check out for this play. It's going to be 4th down. Looks like they're going to send Eric Rodriguez in to put 3 points on the board.
This will be a 31-yard field goal effort with the angle to the left.
Not much wind to contend with. No, the flags are draped now on the flagpoles. So
Rodriguez is 1 of 2 on his field goal attempts this year. He had a 34-yarder earlier in the season. And here's the kick from 31, and it is a line drive affair, and it is good.
Yeah.
Flat looking, but it got through the uprights.
A couple of feet above the crossbar, but that's fine. It went through the uprights, and that puts 3 points on the board as Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op says, way to go Wildcats. 16-7, your Sulphur Springs Wildcats over the Paris Wildcats. 11:05 left in this first half. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back here with Wildcat football and the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff in just a moment. And we're back up in Paris at Paris Wildcat Stadium, and your Sulphur Springs Wildcats are leading the Paris Wildcats 16-7, 11:05 left here in this first half of play. Your Wildcats will be kicking off the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff from right to left, and a couple of high kicks these past, those higher diagonal kicks by Eric Rodriguez on the past couple of kickoffs from Sulphur Springs, so we'll see what he's going to do here, John Mark.
It's a 32-yard drive in 5 plays for Sulphur Springs. The 31-yard field goal by Eric Rodriguez, his 2nd of the season. It was set up on the misadventure as Paris was attempting to punt, and the punt hit one of the linemen in the back. And Sulphur Springs took over the ball at the Paris 46-yard line. Drove down the field and got the field goal by Eric Rodriguez. Here's another pop-up type kick, and that's a loose ball. It's picked up by Sulphur Springs at the 35-yard line of Paris. That's Alex McCormick comes up with the football. I'm not sure if that was by design, Chad, or not.
Yes, that was a great play for your Sulphur Springs Wildcats. Special teams coming through as they're going to have great field position on what turned out to be an onside kick. They're going to start their 1st and 10 on the Paris Wildcat 35-yard line. So, way to go. Rodriguez
hit a little wedge shot, and it had reverse English on it, and it bounded at the 35-yard line, maybe the 34, and then it came back to Alex McCormick.
Yeah, fantastic. It's great luck for your Sulphur Springs Wildcats. They've got a couple of scores. Cooper leading Honey Grove 14-0. Winsboro leading Mineola 21-0.
First down, Sulphur Springs at the Paris 35-yard line. Sulphur Springs leading 13-7. Brady Driver faking the handoff, taking it himself, and powering up the middle down to the 25-yard line, close to another first down, and he will have the first down for Sulphur Springs on that gain of 10 yards. Great opportunity here for Sulphur Springs.
Oh, absolutely. Another Hooten's Hardware first down for your Sulphur Springs Wildcats as they march on down the field. They're taking their time, making some personnel changes and getting that play call in from Coach Faircloth as the play clock hits 15. They come up to the line of scrimmage.
Both of these teams at 2-0 in the district, tied for first place with Anna. Winner of the game will still have a share of first place. Driver faking to Malachi Rowland, and he will tuck it and come to the near side and is run out of bounds inside the 20 at about the 18-yard line of the Paris Wildcats for a gain of 7 yards. It'll be second down and 3.
Good run by Brady Driver there, always scrambling, and a very smart quarterback making his move and getting on down the field. He's just a triple threat, isn't he?
Well, he is that.
Makes a real good decision on whether to hand off, throw the ball, or run the ball, and then when he runs, he can certainly gain some yardage.
Driver coming into the game with 512 yards rushing and 12 rushing touchdowns. Second and 3. Driver passing. It is complete inside the 10-yard line, and this is going to be a first and goal for the Wildcats.
Number 14 again.
That's Chris Adams, who's having a big night for Sulphur Springs.
Chris Adams is having a big night as he makes that wonderful reception. That moves the chains. It's going to be first and goal for your Sulphur Springs Wildcats. They're going to be sitting on the 6-yard line, and they've got 4 chances here to put it in the end zone. Maybe 3.
Chris Adams, coming into the game, had 3 receptions for 62 yards and a touchdown. He's had at least a couple of big receptions already tonight. First and goal from the 7-yard line. Wildcats leading 13-7. Driver taking it himself over the right side. Driver shedding tackles down close to the goal line, brought down at the 1. 6-yard gain by Brady Driver. And they might just call his number again right here.
Absolutely. 9:15 left in this first half of plays. Sulphur Springs Wildcats 16 over the Paris Wildcats 7, and they're knocking on the door, putting some more points on the board.
I may have said 13-7 a moment ago and neglecting to add that field goal.
That was a very nice line drive, low field goal. Let's not forget about that, John Mark.
It is 16-7. Here is Driver diving at the goal line, touchdown.
And Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op says, way to go Wildcats, as Brady Driver takes it on in himself, making a diving play into the end zone and putting 6 points on the board. 22-7 with the extra point coming up. Eric Rodriguez, the very accurate Eric Rodriguez, only missing 2 point after attempts this season, right?
That's right. That's
one of them just a minute ago, but very, very accurate for the season. He put a field goal on the board earlier.
Nathan Andrews with the snap, Caden Mitchell with the hold, and Eric Rodriguez with the kick, which is good. 22-7, Sulphur Springs leading with 8:50 to go in the first half.
And that extra point's going to make it 23, and we're going to take a break and be back with the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff here in just a moment. And we're back in Paris, Texas, where your Sulphur Springs Wildcats are up over the Paris Wildcats, 23-7, 8:50 left in this first half of play. The Paris Wildcats, a few of them already back ready to receive that J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff. They're ready to get something moving, and they're going to have to because they're down 16 points right now. And we'll see what Eric Rodriguez has dialed in for the Paris Wildcats as he gets ready to set up for that kickoff. That was pretty long, not a long drive, not the longest drive there because they that was the shortest drive for the score that the Wildcats made.
35 yards in 6 plays. It was set up not on an onside kick, but a little short pop-up of a kick that had reverse English on it, and Alex McCormick took it for Sulphur Springs at the 35-yard line. Now here's a similar kick being caught and returned at the 30-yard line for Paris, and this is Douglas on the return. Douglas up to the 40-yard line or thereabouts. That previous kick was just remarkable. The reverse English on it was just perfect. And whether they practiced that or not, I don't know. I would love to think that they did, Chad.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure they would say that they've been practicing that.
But it was the outcome of it was fantastic because the ball popped right into the arms of Alex McCormick for Sulphur Springs. Then the Wildcats drove on down for the 1-yard touchdown run by Brady Driver, his second rushing touchdown of the night. And that gives him now, Driver, 14 rushing touchdowns this season.
Another couple of scores, Alba Golden over Como Picton, 14-0.
First down from the 39-yard line. for the Paris Wildcats, and Hohenberger throwing to the far side. A bubble screen goes out there to Douglas. He makes the catch, but only able to pick up about 3 yards or so. Nathan Andrews on the tackle for the Wildcats.
Sulphur Springs Wildcat defense having a little trouble with the Paris Wildcat offense on that big long first drive.
Sulphur Springs has had 2 offensive possessions without Paris having the ball here now. Hohenberger, the quarterback, faking a handoff, running up the middle, and not going very far.
That was number 76 taking him down for the Sulphur Springs Wildcats as he
Giovanni Solis.
Giovanni Solis wrapped him up and took him to the ground. He wasn't letting him going anywhere.
It's a loss of 1.
Yeah.
So 3rd and 8 for Paris. From the Paris 41-yard line. Wildcats leading 23-7. Clock is rolling with 7.5 minutes left to go in the first half. Chris Garcia out over the football at center for Paris. Man in motion from right to left. Hohenberger fakes it to the man in motion. Hohenberger running to the near side. He's got Laren Vaughn to deal with, and Vaughn takes him down, and he will be short of a first down, but a flag down on the play. It's middle linebacker Laren Vaughn who makes the tackle for Sulphur Springs. Had 68 tackles, number 2 on the team coming into the game, but let's find out what this penalty is going to be about. As it stands, it'll be 4th down and about 3 for Paris. Personal foul, face mask penalty against Sulphur Springs.
Well, it's going to be a huge advantage for the Paris Wildcats as the official carries the ball into Sulphur Springs territory all the way down to the 39-yard line. They're going to have their 1st and 10 on the 39 of the Sulphur Springs side of the field. 39 yards to go to the goal line, so it's time for the Sulphur Springs Wildcat defense to step up.
2 men wide to either side for Paris on this first down from the Sulphur Springs 39. Hohenberger has a running back to his right. That's Chris Houston. Looks like they're changing the play at the line of scrimmage with 5 seconds on the play clock. Hohenberger takes the snap, looking for somewhere to go, and not finding a block.
He gets wrapped up there by a couple of Wildcat defenders. I see number 44 there, the main one on the tackle.
That's Truth Holmes, sophomore defensive tackle for the Wildcats, 2nd and 10.
So the Sulphur Springs Wildcat defense is stepping it up there and holding them to the line.
2nd down and 10 for Paris, and a timeout taken here by the Paris Wildcats with Sulphur Springs leading 23-7, 6:46 to go in the first half.
And we're back to Wildcat football here in Paris, Texas. Wildcats on both sides of the ball. Sulphur Springs Wildcats up 23-7 over the Paris Wildcats as Sulphur Springs defense tries to hold Paris as they're moving on down the field. They've got pretty good field position, but now 2nd and 10 on the Wildcat 39. Taking the time out there. It looks like, I guess that was Paris that took the timeout.
Paris timeout, that's right.
So they're getting a little more time to discuss it.
2nd and 10 from the Sulphur Springs 39-yard line. Ball's on the near hash as they move left to right. Hohenberger going to be brought down from behind as he was running an option play there, and making the tackle for Sulphur Springs. That is Nathan Andrews, junior down lineman for Sulphur Springs, and we said his name a time or 2 tonight.
They're going to call him a loss of about 1 or half a yard, but it's going to be 3rd and 11 they're calling on the scoreboard. So great position here for the Sulphur Springs defense, holding them. Go ahead.
Nathan Andrews pursuing Hohenberger down the line of scrimmage and tackling him from behind there. 3rd and 11 from the 40. Snap to Hohenberger, setting up the bubble screen on the near side, and coming back the other way and being brought down behind the line of scrimmage is Keyshawn Roberts, and he is tackled there by Braxton Wall. Sophomore, I should say, senior linebacker for Sulphur Springs.
So it drops him for a couple more yards. This is going to be I think it's going to be punt time for Paris. I mean, they are down, and they're in Sulphur Springs territory. 5:53 left in this first half. The Sulphur Springs up 23 over Paris 7. They're going to be marking off some yardage against the Paris Wildcats. I missed that flag, John Mark. But
that's the second time that the Wildcats have blown up a bubble screen by Paris. The time before, I think they lost 12 yards on the play. This time it was going to be stopped as they put the ball down finally for no gain, basically. But Wildcats really have that well defended. And now Sulphur Springs Paris being penalized here, a major penalty, personal foul penalty of 15 yards, pushes them back to their own 42-yard line. It is still third down, but now about third down and 28, all the way back at the Paris 42-yard line. Snap to Hohenberger, way behind the chains here. Hohenberger throwing deep, has a man out there, and that is Roberts, but it is incomplete. He is well guarded at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, the ball was a little overthrown, and the receiver just couldn't make it down there to pick it up. So that's going to be a big fourth down for Paris Wildcats. They're going to have to punt it away. They just got too many yards to make up there, and with them being in their own territory, it's soon going to be Wildcat ball. They're still showing a third down on the marker over there, though.
Well defended there by Ty Bybee for Sulphur Springs.
Yes.
Junior defensive back who had 55 tackles, 2 fumble recoveries coming into the game tonight. Conference right now over on the far side between the referee and Brandon Faircloth, head coach for Sulphur Springs. Delay of game is the indication I see here against Paris.
They're taking the ball marker all the way back down the field.
Now, Tony Flippin is sitting in with us here tonight, who has 25 years of official experience or experience as an official, so we may need an interpretation here, Tony.
Well, Tony had indicated that the coach for Paris was arguing about the ball spot before the previous play, and but now they've moved it all the way back up to where they've undone the 15-yard penalty, but it is fourth down, 4th and 11, and they're going to punt it away. It gets blocked by the Wildcats, and it's down by Paris Wildcats, so it's going to be Sulphur Springs ball on the
Sulphur Springs 45-yard line.
Yes, thank you.
That is the second time that it's been a disastrous outcome for Paris on a punt. And Chad, you saw one of the Wildcats blocked it, did you?
Yes, it looked like it did. I'd have to run the tape back there to find out who exactly that was.
In this case, it did not hit the lineman in the back as it did the previous time then. Because I couldn't tell if it was blocked or if it was a similar kind of thing where the punt hit one of the linemen in the back.
Right, yeah. No,
but the outcome is the same either way. Sulphur Springs will have the ball at the Sulphur Springs 45-yard line, leading 23-7, 5:40 left to go first half. Play action pass Driver, stepping up in the pocket, throwing deep to Paris. Defenders back there, intended for Skylar Lewis, but it is intercepted. And the return out across the 25 to the 27-yard line.
A lot of extended tackling going on that particular one, but Brady Driver unfortunately has an interception. It's going to be Paris Wildcat football coming back the other way. It was a deep pass in double coverage, and Skylar Lewis just couldn't come up with it, but a Paris Wildcat did. They're going to move that all the way up to the 28-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Paris on their own 28.
Docurian Douglas with the interception for Paris, and Driver throwing into double coverage there. He had Skylar Lewis out there, but he had 2 Paris defenders bracketing him. And Douglas comes up with the interception and returns it to the 28-yard line. So 5:25 to go first half. Sulphur Springs still leading 23-7.
Sulphur Springs just getting the ball for one play.
First down and 10 for Paris. Hohenberger rolling out, looking for a receiver, not finding a receiver, and finally runs out of turf. And the Wildcats swarm him near the sideline at about the 30. Picks up 2 as he decided to keep it. But it looks like to me, Chad, that the Sulphur Springs defense is doing a great job of containing Hohenberger and a great job of covering his receivers downfield.
Yeah, a lot different than was in the first quarter. By the way, there's 5:16 left in this first half. Your Sulphur Springs Wildcats up 23-7 over Paris. But, yeah, the Sulphur Springs defense has certainly dialed it in, haven't they?
Second down and 8 from the 30. Pass to the near side. This is Finch, who makes the catch at the 37-yard line. He is tackled by Austin Cheney for Sulphur Springs.
He's going to be about a yard short of the first down, a little bit more than a yard, looks like.
Markelrick French is a sophomore. So now third down, and I make it 3rd and 1.
Red brought down at the 36.
Ball on the near hash, they move right to left. Sulphur Springs leading 23-7. Running back to the right of Hohenberger, the quarterback in the shotgun. They give it to Tadrick Dawson. And Dawson, big fella, plowing up the middle, should have the first down.
Yeah, if they're going to move the chains, they're going to be up to the 40-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Paris Wildcats. On their own 40, they've got to get to midfield for a new set of downs. 4:25 and counting left in this first half of play. Sulphur Springs up 23-7 over Paris.
Giovanni Solis made the tackle for Sulphur Springs.
He's probably got a lot of tackles this year, too. He's a good player.
First down from the 40-yard line. Hohenberger dropping back, looking for someone to throw to. Terrific coverage downfield for Sulphur Springs. Finally, Hohenberger throws it away over the sideline. Second down and 10. Great coverage downfield by the Wildcats.
And there was a hold against Paris Wildcats, but unfortunately the guys in the black and white striped uniforms out there didn't see it. So there's no flag on the play because my flag doesn't reach from here. Yes.
We'll have to talk with them about that at halftime.
Well, that's okay. They can't see them all, and we have a different vantage point.
Chris Garcia, the center, out over the football. Man in motion, right to left. 2nd and 10 from the 40. Hohenberger in the pocket, moving around, looking for somewhere to go, either run it or throw it downfield. Now he's going to run it to the far side. Hohenberger crosses the line of scrimmage and will be close to a first down as he turns upfield and crosses into Sulphur Springs territory.
Good scramble. I think they're going to give him the first down and mark it about the 48-yard line in Sulphur Springs territory. So, yeah, he made a lot out of that play. He ran cross country again to get over the other side of the field and picked up more than enough yardage to move the chains.
Totally improvising on that play, though. That clearly was not how that play was intended, but he had a broken field with receivers downfield, and Sulphur Springs Wildcats scattered all over the field, and he was able to scramble for the first down. So first down Paris at the Sulphur Springs 12-yard line. Clock stopped with 3:51 left to go in the first half. Wildcats lead, Sulphur Springs Wildcats 23-7. Here's the toss to Tadrick Dawson. Sweep to the right side. Dawson lowers his shoulder, and he is down to the Sulphur Springs 42-yard line. On the tackle there for the Wildcats, Ty Bybee.
Yep.
And also Giovanni Ibarra in on that tackle.
Yes, who made several interceptions during the last game. 3. That's got to be some kind of record.
That was at Community a couple of weeks ago. Second down and 4 for Paris at the Sulphur Springs 42-yard line. 2 wideouts to the near side, 1 to the far side. Here's a reverse to Washington. Washington trying to get outside and is not going to be able to do it because there to bring him down behind the line of scrimmage is Braxton Wall, the senior linebacker for Sulphur Springs.
Sulphur Springs defense not being fooled by that one, and they'll drop the Paris Wildcats for a loss. It's going to be big third down and about 12. Is that what we're going
to be? 3rd and 12. It's a loss of 8. Loss of 8 on that play. Braxton Wall's having a big first half for Sulphur Springs. So Paris again behind the chains, 3rd and 8 from the 50. Open field to the near side as they move left to right. Play action pass. Hohenberger passing, complete around the 40-yard line. And the tackle is made for Sulphur Springs by Grayson Hardy. And the catch there for Paris is by Hudson Harper, their tight end, or H-back. And it is 4th down, and I make it 3 from the Sulphur Springs 41-yard line.
I bet they're going to go for it because it's 2:09 and counting left in this first half. The Paris Wildcats are down by 16 points, so they're going to have to make something happen. They're going to go for it on 4th down. We'll see how they do.
4th and 3 from the Sulphur Springs 41. Sulphur Springs leading 23-7. Back on either side of Hohenberger, they hand off to Chris Houston. Houston off right tackle with a head of steam and plows down to the 31-yard line. First down for Paris. Tackle again by Grayson Hardy, leading the team with 74 tackles coming in tonight.
Certainly more than enough yardage to move the chains on that one, and they convert on 4th down. 1:40 and counting left. They're going to have to get up the line of scrimmage and make a few quick plays here.
Paris has 2 timeouts. First down at the 21-yard line. Flags down as the play gets underway.
A couple of flags, so that's going to be either a false start or an offside, I would guess.
Indication is illegal procedure against Paris.
It's going to back them up 5 yards, and it's going to be 1st and 15 on their Wildcats, the Sulphur Springs 37-yard line. So clock still ticking. 1:22 and counting. They're back up to the line of scrimmage.
This is 1st and 15 from the 36. Trevin Hohenberger, the quarterback, takes the snap. Hohenberger throwing deep down the middle, and the pass is broken up for Sulphur Springs.
Yes, a great job by Ty Bybee again, getting in on that pass and breaking it up. I think he thought that maybe he could come up with that and get an interception, but that stops the clock with 1:08 left in this first half. The Paris Wildcats desperate to get some more points on the board before we get to halftime.
Intended receiver was Keyshawn Roberts for Paris. It'll be 2nd down and 15 from the Sulphur Springs. We'll make it the 37-yard line. 1:08 to go in the first half. Sulphur Springs leading 23-7. Play action pass. Hohenberger sets up, throws deep, caught at the 15-yard line. Touchdown for Paris.
Unbelievable reception there by the Paris Wildcats as they walk it into the end zone with 1 minute left on the clock, but there is a flag down, and they're going to call that
personal foul against Sulphur Springs for roughing the passer.
But so that is going to count, and it's going to be soon 23-13 pending the extra point attempt, and then they'll get a very good field position on the kickoff, and so that personal foul would be marked off on that.
Dicurian Douglas made the catch for Paris, leaping catch at the 15-yard line. Extremely well thrown ball there by Trevin Hohenberger, the quarterback for Paris, on that 3rd down and 12. Snap, and the kick is good by Paul Torres. So Wildcats very much back in this football game now, trailing Sulphur Springs. I say Paris Wildcats back in the game.
Yep.
Trailing Sulphur Springs 23-14.
We've got a minute left in this first half, but we'll be back with the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff in just a moment in Paris, Texas. Here on KSST, the Paris Wildcats put some more points on the board. It's 23-14. Sulphur Springs over Paris. Just 1 minute left as the Sulphur Springs Wildcats are back to receive the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff to have a very short time. What do you think? They're ahead, but Paris has come back, John Mark.
I expect that Sulphur Springs be pretty cautious here. They're going to get the football. Well, no, I beg your pardon. They will not. They will have to kick off to start the second half.
Yep.
So they might be a bit more flamboyant here. And
after that penalty, it looks like we'll be
that's another point.
Getting the ball on the 25-yard line, or because they're going to be kicking off from our 45-yard line. So their 40, that 15-yard penalty was marked off on the kickoff. So I'm looking for an onside kick here too.
Well, that certainly is a possibility, but of course the Wildcats going to be very much alert to that. But Paris on the roughing the passer penalty on the touchdown pass, 15-yard penalty is assessed on the kickoff. So they are kicking off from the Paris 45 25-yard line. And the kick goes into the end zone as they didn't want to take the chance of a short kick and whatever misadventure might come from that. 72-yard drive, 11 plays, and Chad, it was set up on the interception by Dicurian Douglas, and then Douglas scores the touchdown.
A good turn of event for the Paris Wildcats as they made hay out of that one when they picked off that Brady Driver pass and put some points on the board. And so we have us a ball game here now, John Mark, because it's a lot closer. Sulphur Springs Wildcats coming out to the line of scrimmage. 1 minute left, and we'll see what they do, if they try to make some big plays and get on down the field, or if they're just going to play it safe.
Sulphur Springs has 3 timeouts. They go from the spread formation here, and on first down, they hand off to Malachi Rowland, who we've seen a lot here in the first half. And he is out to the 29-yard line for a gain of 4 yards. Clock is down to 46 seconds, and the clock is continuing to roll as the Wildcats have not chosen to take a timeout yet. Brady Driver looking to the sideline, appears to be in no hurry to call the play.
34 and counting. Play clock at 21 and counting. So they're just going to take their time, maybe snap one more play and go to the locker room and reassess for the second half.
Play clock at 8, game clock at 17 seconds. And we have a Wildcat way behind Brady Driver back at the 20-yard line. So obviously Driver was going to take the snap and take a knee, and that is what he did. So that will be the final play of the first half. And we go to halftime with Sulphur Springs leading Paris 23-14.
We'll take a break and be back with the Wildcat Band here in just a moment on KSST in Paris, Texas. And welcome back to Wildcat Football here on KSST. We're up in Paris, Texas. Your Sulphur Springs Wildcats are up 23-14 over the Paris Wildcats. We're going to get ready to hear from the Sulphur Springs High School drill team, the Blue Blazes.
Strike of the band.
Wildcat Band, by the way, will be in Lindale tomorrow for the area marching band competition. They got all ones at the regional competition here a week or so ago. So very big day for them tomorrow. I believe their first performance anyway, will be at 3 p.m. at Lindale High School tomorrow afternoon. And right now, the Blue Blazes are performing here in Paris under the direction of, I've got it here somewhere, Meredith Dial.
And we'll let those watching on YouTube enjoy this performance by the Blue Blazes, as we have a pretty good field position for this performance tonight. Sometimes not so much, but we'll let that music play and let them enjoy that performance.
Officers to the 23-24 line are Junior Lieutenants Trinity Martin, Sedona McCollum, Senior Lieutenant Lily Glenn, Co-Captain Carter Charlton, and Captain Jackie Monroy. The Blazes want to send a special shout out to the Blaze of the Week, Brooks T. Graves, and their Spirit Girl of the Week, Macy Williams. They'd also like to highlight their Staff of the Week, the entire admin team at SSHS. Thank you for guiding us and supporting us each step of the way. We feel blessed with the best. The Blazes are under the direction of Meredith Dial and Assistant Director Shaylee Caldwell. Now, join the Blazes as they do Rockin' Palm Routine 2 Holiday. led onto the field by drum majors Lauren Menard, Jeremy Resendez, Catherine Starzik, and Brody Emmers. The Wildcat Band would like to recognize this week's section of the week, the Flutes. And this week's band members of the week are Sarah Ferguson and Cameron Davis. Ladies and gentlemen, the UIL state finalists, Sulphur Springs High School. Good luck to the Paris.
We're at halftime in Paris.
Travel to Glendale for you.
And the Paris Wildcats trailing the Sulphur Springs Wildcats 23-14 at halftime. You just heard the performance of the Sulphur Springs High School band, and they will be in Glendale tomorrow afternoon performing at 3 in the area UIL competition, so we wish them the best of luck, and I believe 5 bands will be coming out of that and going to the state competition here in a few weeks. Tony Flippin is sitting in with us here this evening. Enjoyed Tony broadcasting the game with us from Liberty ILO here several weeks ago. What do you make of the first half?
Really a competitive half, and like y'all introduced in the pregame, the record you have to throw out the window from Paris because of the quality they play. And both teams are playing pretty well, but this is still going to be an exciting second half, and Sulphur Springs needs to make some adjustments and come out tough right off the bat in the third quarter. That's when the game's won.
Yep, as we often say, that first possession of the third quarter is critical.
Exactly.
And that's going to be the case here because Paris will have the ball. They're down by 9 points, and they go down and score. Man, they are right back in it. So that the Wildcats really need ideally a 3 and out on that first possession by Paris to start the third quarter. I think it seems to me that except until that late touchdown that Paris scored on a 36-yard touchdown pass, that the Wildcats were doing a terrific job of covering the Paris receivers tonight.
I think we actually got, in my mind, a little greedy when we threw that deep pass off of the turnover. Yep. And I think if we had done the methodical march down the field, might be a completely different story at the moment. But hindsight's pretty good right now, too.
That's a great point because Sulphur Springs had the ball following a block punt, and then on the first play after that got the interception. They were going from the Sulphur Springs 45, so they had great field position, tried to throw deep. Brady Driver to Sky Lewis, but intercepted by Douglas. It was Dicurian Douglas. And then they moved on back down the field, and looked like the Sulphur Springs Wildcats had them bottled up pretty well. I think a 3rd and 12 at the Sulphur Springs 36-yard line, and then they uncorked that 36-yard pass from Trevin Hohenberger to Dicurian Douglas, who had the interception just a short time before, and that made it with the extra point 23-14 at halftime. So as you say, if the Wildcats have been able to eat some more time off the clock, even not scoring, just take some more time off the clock, and after that block punt, and not allowed Paris the chance to go down the field and score, could have been a very different situation. But I've been impressed with the Wildcats. When we say Wildcats tonight, we have to specify that we're talking about the Sulphur Springs Wildcats. But I've been impressed by Sulphur Springs in general, because I really expected, and I still think, that Paris is going to give them a very tough game here, even in the second half. But I'm pleased that they're up 23-14.
We're doing good, but we've made a couple of mistakes, hadn't taken advantage of a couple. But I still think we're the better team. But just because you're the better team doesn't mean that's how it's coming. We've got to play a second half. We need to be error-free. We need to be smart. Watching Paris, the Hohenberger kid is a mirror image of Brady Driver, and he showcased that on that last drive when they scored, because he had some runs on his own and did some scrambling. So they're going to showcase him second half, and we better hitch our britches.
He had a 12-yard run. I think that was on a 3rd down and long situation, and he just scrambled for that.
He went both sides of the field, and he showed his speed, and he's just a savvy running back, just like Brady is. He can dip in and plant his foot and get you moving and go from there. He knows where he wants to go. The defense is guessing. And
we have said that he is the son of their head coach, Steve Hohenberger. So he's been bred for this, no doubt, from birth. But he is a good-looking quarterback.
He is.
We had a a couple of, and Tony was an official, Texas high school football official and basketball official for 25 years. We had a couple of confusing calls, I thought, in the first half, and I don't know that I can recreate those now. But
I'm still at a loss at the one on that last drive where they scored, because they took the ball back 15 yards.
Yeah.
And then Coach Faircloth was jumping up and down trying to get their attention. He wasn't screaming at them. He knew something was up, and I have yet to figure it out, because they ran one play and then all of a sudden they took it back, and
that is
no explanation.
My understanding is that once another play is run, that whatever happened before, that's in the past and nothing can be done about that. But I have seen in recent years a couple of occasions where that was not the case.
Supposedly it's correctable, kind of, until you run a play. There's a time where we don't have replay or advantages there, and this is a 5-man crew too, where we've had a 7-man crew. I noticed that right off the bat. So and now everybody's spoiled to a 7-man, and you don't have as much responsibility. So whether or not that was something that could have been caught or corrected as a 7-man that the 5 men didn't, I don't know. But it's Chad Helberg, the assistant AD and trainer, is my nephew.
Oh, is that right?
And so I will be chatting with him afterwards, see if he finds out. He patrols the sidelines and kind of protects the officials at home and so forth. And so I'll be talking with him, trying to find out what's going on too. But that was very strange.
And that was a key play in the first half, and because I think they had, I don't remember in particular, but I think Paris had a 3rd down and 20 or something
It was a bunt. There was no way they were going to get it without just a fluke.
And then suddenly it was 3rd and 12, and I think that is when Hohenberger scrambled for the first down.
Could be. I believe you're right there. So he went all the way from the home side and ended up on our sideline. Yeah. He ran about 100 yards to get that 14, but he got it.
Yeah, and so that turned out to be a really decisive thing in the first half. You went to Sulphur Springs High School, and this is an old rivalry. What are your memories of Sulphur Springs and Paris playing in the past?
Well, I was in the middle. Next year's my 50-year anniversary, so I'm old as the hills. But Paris was in our district in the 60s, and then Paris got in our district afterward. But while I was in school, they were in the 5A, or it was 4A then, which was the biggest classification. Yep. So we never played them non-district or anything. But during my officiating, Paris was very special to me. And here in the recent years, it's become a good rivalry. But I had the pleasure of officiating Paris-Sulphur Springs about 5 times while Greg Owens was coach. I wanted to do Sulphur games, but it had to be a certain team and coach that knew that would accept me. And at that time, I had what I think is the best crew in the chapter, and the Paris coaches thought they would always draft me, and they thought I was the best crew, so he had no problems. And so I actually christened this stadium when they broke it in. Had skydivers and kids running a relay from the old Dragon Stadium, and it was really neat, and it was with Sulphur Springs. So this place is pretty special to me. I've called lots of meaningful ball games in Paris, but the rivalry and everything took a sabbatical while I was there, but it's getting back.
Presuming they are in the same district next year, and they might not be because we'll have redistricting in February of next year. It would be the 100th anniversary of this rivalry next year.
Is that right?
So it started in 1924 when Paris won 14-0, and Paris has won 49 times. Sulphur Springs has won 33 times, and there have been 5 ties. So Paris has had the better of the rivalry over the years, going back to 1924. But we'll see if it continues next year.
Paris has a rich history. They've won a couple of state championships, and and Sulphur Springs had. I know during my tenure, we weren't very good. So even though we didn't play them, we would have added to that lopsided number.
Of course, Paris had Raymond Berry Sr. as the head coach for 25 seasons from 1938 to 1962, the father of the great NFL Hall of Famer Raymond Berry, who played with John Unitas all those years with the Baltimore Colts and got his start here at Paris. And also, of course, Gene Stallings got his start here and went on to coach for Texas A&M and Alabama. You know that story.
You bet. I was getting gasoline at one of the stations one day after doing a ball game and looked over there, and Gene Stallings was across the stall filling up, so I talked to him a little. Something you don't see very often.
Well, he's pretty prominent around here, I think. It's not that unusual to see Gene Stallings out and about. And
I've got a funny one, if I don't mean to take all the time, but we had a game here one time, and Robert Cook and Charles Cromer are the old heads of the referee and crew. They taught me everything I know and have always been great with me. But Charles had knee problems and had to retire, and I kind of squeezed in his spot, but Robert was still with us. And I got ready to blow the whistle for a second half kickoff, and you always go point to your officials, make sure everybody's ready. I pointed and went over to where Robert was. There's no Robert. And I'm like, where in the heck's Robert? Gene Stallings was in the first row of the stands, and he was over there talking to him, and I had to get on him because Robert, he's so sports-oriented. He didn't care if we had a ball game. That's Gene Stallings.
That's great. That's a great story, Tom. Glad you told that. 23-14, Sulphur Springs leading at halftime. This is WildCats football on KSST. WildCats football on KSST. Sulphur Springs leading at halftime 23-14. We're about to start the second half of play. Tony, you have some scores that you can share with us.
Yeah, I was going through my little Texas football app and somewhat of the area scores that might be of interest. Cooper is at Honey Grove and leading 34-15 at halftime, and Honey Grove had only allowed 5 points for the entire season, so Cooper is manhandling them. Commerce and Mount Vernon are at halftime with Mount Vernon up 21-13. Winsboro is blowing out Mineola in the third, 35-0. They are loaded, and I'm here to tell you. Como-Picton is struggling again against Alba Golden, 41-0 Alba at the half. Emory Rains is putting up a surprising effort against Pottsboro, 34-22 Pottsboro at the half, and Emory struggled, so that's a confidence builder. Community is playing Anna. We know how that one's supposed to be, and it's 37-0 at probably by half now, so that one's rolling out as needed. And then Cumbie is hosting Linden Kildare, and it's a defensive struggle of 36-36 in the second quarter. So we have to get a new scoreboard for that one.
Wow, mercy! That is an offensive shootout there. Well, good. Thanks. We hope we can get some more scores before the ball game is over. So it is 23-14. Sulphur Springs over Paris, leading the Sulphur Springs WildCats, and Sulphur Springs about to kick off to Paris to start the second half. Eric Rodriguez has it teed up at the 40-yard line. Virtually no wind here tonight, and here's a high end-over-end kick coming down at the 10-yard line. It will be returned for Paris. And the return out to the 30-yard line, across the 35, up close to the 40-yard line goes Keyshawn Roberts for Paris.
Roberts on the return.
And it'll be first down for the Paris Wildcats.
38-yard line.
38, okay.
Yep, that was a good return. They went up the middle and set all the blockers up, and then he cut to the left and got outside and made a pretty nice gain out of it.
Tony's going to continue with us here for a while on our broadcasts here in the second half. So big offensive possession for Paris, big defensive series of downs here for Sulphur Springs. First possession of the second half. Paris moving from left to right. 3 wideouts to the near side, 1 to the far side. A running back to the left of Trevin Hohenberger, the quarterback, in the shotgun. He backpedals, throwing deep down the near side for Roberts. Incomplete at the 25-yard line. Close coverage for Sulphur Springs there by Ty Bybee. Step for step.
You could see that one being set up. They ran the receiver in and tried to loop him, but great coverage. And I really think they waited too long to throw the ball anyway. But that one wasn't going to be completed without some really spectacular playing.
Ty Bybee, the safety for Sulphur Springs, step for step with Keyshawn Roberts. 2nd down and 10. Ball on the far hash mark as they move from left to right. Again, 3 to the near side, 1 to the far side, the wideouts. This time they keep it on the ground up the middle. It's a short gain for Paris. And that is Daedric Dawson for 3 yards, and the tackle for Sulphur Springs by Truth Holmes.
Lining up quick.
From the 41-yard line, this is 3rd down and 7.
3rd and 7 for the Wildcats.
I think they're trying to limit substitution there, but then they're coming back calling a play, so it's not really a rush offense.
Hohenberger looking to the sideline to change the play. Now has the snap in the shotgun, rolling out to his right, looking to run. Lowers his shoulder. He is going to be short of the first down as he is tackled by middle linebacker Laren Vaughn at the 45-yard line. Will they go for the first down here on 4th down and 3?
Really good pursuit by the entire defense there. Hohenberger ran, but he was going side to side, and there was a wave of white that finally caught up to him.
They've had a couple of disasters in their punting game in the first half, so I kind of expect that they may go for the first down here. One of the punts hit one of their linemen in the back somehow, and then there was one that was blocked. So it appears they're going to go for the first down from their own 45-yard line on 4th down and 3. 2 wideouts near side, 1 to the far side. Hohenberger keeps it left side. Hohenberger will have the first down, knifing through the left side across the 50 to the Sulphur Springs 49-yard line. Again, Truth Holmes brought him down for Sulphur Springs.
That's another mirror image of the Wildcats, Sulphur Springs lineup too. When you need something tough, you go to your quarterback. So
23-14, Sulphur Springs, first possession of the second half for Paris. Now first down for Paris at the Sulphur Springs 49-yard line. They move left to right. Ball is on the far hash mark. Taking their time here. Play clock is at 14, still plenty of time. And again, they may have changed the play. Running back to the right of the quarterback, Hohenberger. Here's a bubble screen set up over on the far side. It's complete, but perhaps for a loss.
Yep, we got the numbers on that one. They only had 1 blocker, and we had 3 Wildcats come in. They had that one sniffed out. Lost
Guy Curian Douglas with the catch, and Austin Cheney, the tackle for Sulphur Springs. As Tony said, loss of 1 back to the 50-yard line. 2nd down, 11. Open field to the near side, 3 wideouts that way. Running back to the right of Hohenberger, that is Dawson. They give it to Dawson, going left, cutting back, and Dawson breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage. Maybe he breaks 2 or 3 tackles, and he is all the way to the 40-yard line, close to a first down in Sulphur Springs territory.
It's a good, strong run. Paris is trying to overload one side and then run against it. I've seen several times where they've had 3 or 4 receivers to one side. Got a player for Paris that has dropped down, got a little injury, so they've got an official's timeout. But they're trying to get numbers loaded on one side and run against the grain to the weak side, and they've had a little success with it, but we're working on it.
That was Daedric Dawson on the carry, and he comes out of the game, and he's replaced by Chris Houston. Well, I thought they had a first down, but they're about a half-yard short, so it is 3rd and less than 1 for Paris at the 40-yard line.
Big play. This would be a great stop right here, but I fully anticipate 2 downs going, and I imagine we're going to have a quarterback rolling with it.
Hohenberger in the shotgun, takes the snap, looking to run, looking for a block, picks his way, and he will have the first down at the Sulphur Springs 37-yard line. That's a gain of about 3 yards. And on the tackle for the Wildcats, it's Bo Loggins.
He was
senior linebacker.
Yeah, quarterback Hohenberger was very patient there. He just stood up, let the lines state their position, and then picked a hole and got that. It was a good job.
First possession of the second half for Paris. This will be the 8th play of the drive. They started at their own 38-yard line. They have a couple of first downs. They're trailing Sulphur Springs 23-14. And we see the pistol look for the first time here, and Hohenberger fakes a pitch. Now he's going to run it himself, and he's going to be tackled and brought down from behind, and he is fortunate to get back to the line of scrimmage. Again, Truth Holmes making that tackle for Sulphur Springs. It's a loss of 1.
Try to roll out a fake pitch on the wheel route, and just didn't ever pan out on that one.
Second and 11. Hohenberger looking to the sideline once again for the play. They have 2 wide to the far side and 1 to the near side. The running back is Chris Houston to the right of Hohenberger. Takes the snap from Garcia. Play action pass. Hohenberger half roll to his right, in trouble, and will be sacked. Or will he? Gets away from that Sulphur Springs defender. Going to run it himself over on the far side. Picks up a few yards, but that was a miraculous escape, Tony.
That was a 100% Mr. Hohenberger's grit and desire. He wouldn't go down there. Wildcats had great pursuit, great depth. They just couldn't close the deal. But sometimes you just tip your cap and say, great job, young man, and that's what we do there.
He picks up 4 yards. Now it is third down, and we make it 7 from the Sulphur Springs 34-yard line. But that could have been a sack and a loss of probably 4 or 5 yards.
Big
for Paris.
turnaround, yeah, you bet.
Third and 7. Hohenberger pitches. This is Dawson again. Dawson tried to go off tackle to the right side, cut down at the 29-yard line. And the tackle again here by Braxton Wall.
That shows me we're going for it on 4th because they didn't use Hohenberger on the play, and that one wasn't developed to make about 7 or 8 yards. So 4th and 5, near long 4 or short 5.
Senior Sulphur Springs linebacker Braxton Wall having a big night. Chris Garcia out over the football at center. This is the 4th down play, 4th and 4 for Paris from the 31-yard line of Sulphur Springs. Hohenberger
didn't make
hit hard at the 28-yard line, and it looks like he's short of the first down.
Yep. Good job by the interior defense of the Wildcats. They really clamped down on him and stopped him about a yard short. So there again, a lot of time went off. 6:47 left in the third, but no points, and now we get to make our first statement of the third quarter.
Senior linebacker Bo Loggins with the tackle for Sulphur Springs. Wildcats take over at their own 29-yard line. First down and 10, and leading 23-14 with 6:47 left to go in the third period. Brady Driver in the shotgun, fakes the handoff to Cameron Jefferson. Driver up the middle, across the 35, lowers his shoulder, and is brought down at the 36-yard line for a gain of about 7 yards. Yeah.
Yes, sir. It's just good, hard running. Of course, we got that big offensive line, so why not take advantage of that?
That offensive line, Isaac Alexander, Aiden McCarroll, Jeff Stevenson, Brandon Vasquez, and Vincent Johnson.
They're growing every game, so it's a good one.
Second and 3. Driver handing off up the middle. This looks like Malachi Rowland, and it is Malachi Rowland. Have to sometimes hesitate because D. Rose Luke looks a lot like him, about the same size, but he is out to the 42-yard line for a first down.
Yep.
We have not seen a lot of Malachi Rowland this season. He had a hairline fracture in a scrimmage game, and they have held him out until the district games, and he's played more tonight than we have seen him all year. He came in last year in 2022, had 555 yards rushing for the Wildcats and 3 touchdowns. First down from the 42-yard line. Fake to Malachi Rowland. Brady Driver. Kind of a modified bootleg there, coming to the near side. Steps out of bounds at the 49-yard line on first down, and so that's a gain of about 7 yards. It'll be second down and 3.
And he showed some senior savvy by running out of bounds. The junior and sophomore Brady Driver would have turned upfield and tried to get another 1 or 2 and take a big hit. So he's learned to get what you can, get out of bounds, and save that hit, and it's really paid off.
Second and 3, Sulphur Springs leading 23-14, 5:35 to go third quarter. Cameron Jefferson back in the ballgame at running back, and they give it to him, and he is hit hard at the line of scrimmage and may have gotten back to that line of scrimmage, but certainly not much more than that.
He's a lot bigger running back than we're used to. Our others are jitterbugs, and he was running straight up, so he's kind of an easy target. He needs to, going through that line, he needs to get a little forward lean on it, and it'll pay off for him.
Ended up picking up a yard, so third down and 2 at the 50. Ball square between the hash marks. Wildcats moving to our left. Brady Driver takes the snap, going to run it himself between the tackles.
He's got enough.
And the big fella looks like he will have the first down. They are, in fact, moving the chains.
Signal. He got him. That's just good, tough running. Not a surprise what's coming, which makes it all the more impressive that line and Brady won't be designed. Everybody in this stadium knew what was coming, and we still got that 2 or 3 yards. So that's when you're doing the job.
First down, Sulphur Springs, and they are working the clock here at the Paris 48-yard line. Snap to Driver. Driver fakes the handoff, trying to go wide to the right side, but this time, nice job by Paris of containing the play. And on the tackle for the Paris Wildcats on that one, Quincy Johnson, senior defensive tackle, pursuing the play from behind.
Went to the short side, so it made it a lot easier. The defense didn't have as far to string you out, so they won that one. Loss of 1, 2nd and 11. I don't think we've thrown a pass this entire drive, so
that's right.
We'll see whether or not we're going to continue relying on the run or if we're going to loosen it up a little.
3 men wide to the near side and 1 to the far side this time. Driver back to throw, but going to run up the middle. And Driver bursting through the defense for Paris across the 35 down to the 31 or 32-yard line, depending on the spot. 33, they say, but it is another first down for Sulphur Springs.
No reason to pass when you can do that. Kind of makes me think that I think it was Landry that way back said 3 things can happen, and if you throw it and 2 of them's bad. So I trust Mr. Driver holding on to it.
I believe that was Darrell K. Royal.
Was that who? Okay, you're right.
16 yards on the gain. First down at the 33. Hand off to Malachi Rowland. And the little guy pops through, and we'll have another big gain for the Wildcats as he's across the 25 down close to the 23-yard line, and they're going to move the chains again.
He showed some strength there. He carried about 3 Paris Wildcats with him, and he wanted to get that line to gain, and he got it. That's a really nice play.
Fast-moving third quarter. We're under 3 minutes to go now. Sulphur Springs still leading 23-14, which was the score at halftime. This is the first possession of the second half for Sulphur Springs. Mm-hmm. This is the 9th play of the drive. They started at their own 29-yard line after Paris had a fairly good drive themselves and gave it up on downs. First down for Sulphur Springs. Cameron Jefferson taking the handoff. Going off tackle to the right and then bouncing outside. Jefferson inside the 20. And we'll be down to the 15-yard line of Paris for a gain of about 8 yards.
He got to the corner good there. I'm sorry.
Make it 9.
And you're talking about a fast-running quarter. That's only about the 3rd play that's been out of bounds. No passes, so we hadn't been stopping there. So officiating crew calls a running clock a happy clock.
I'm with them on that. We see Andre Serta in the ballgame at tight end for Sulphur Springs. He's played a lot tonight. Also Grayson Reams in there as an I-back. And here is Brady Driver faking the handoff and taking it himself across the goal line. Touchdown, Sulphur Springs. 3rd rushing touchdown of the night for Brady Driver.
He had that goal line on his mind, and he wasn't going to be denied there. When he took off, he took off. He was not going to jitterbug around there. Great job.
Driver has touchdown runs of 4, 1, and now 15 yards. And the Wildcats out on top 29-14 with the extra point to come. Eric Rodriguez in for the point, and the ball down, the kick up, and it is good. 30-14, Sulphur Springs up by 16 points with 2:13 to go third quarter. This is Wildcats football on KSST. It is a 71-yard drive for Sulphur Springs. And the 15-yard touchdown run by Brady Driver. We're about to have the Jay Hodge kickoff, and Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op says, way to go, Wildcats, for that touchdown.
That was a good statement by the Wildcats, our Wildcats. That's how we wanted the half to go. We didn't necessarily want to let them take off as much time and get the yardage, but with no points, and then we took it right down the field. So we shortened the game a little bit and got 7 points out of it. So great job by our Cats.
Big turnaround in the game, and here's the kickoff by Eric Rodriguez high and coming down at the 20-yard line. And on the return here for the Paris Wildcats out to the 40-yard line, it is Nicurian Douglas who had the touchdown reception in the first half. So there's your Jay Hodge kickoff for Sulphur Springs. Returned back to the 40-yard line for Paris.
It was a mirror image of the last kickoff return of going up the middle and cutting outside. So the special teams has got to keep their lanes and try to keep them from getting to the edge.
Douglas got to the 41-yard line. So first down Paris at the 41 with 2:02 left to go third quarter. 30-14, Sulphur Springs on top. This battle of teams each with 2-0 records in the district, at the top of the district, tied with Anna. And on first down, Hohenberger, the keeper, up the middle for a gain of 2 yards, or maybe 1. I will make it from the 41, so it's a 1-yard gain, and it is second down and 9. Well, as they mark it now, it will be perhaps a gain of half yard. We'll go ahead and still call it second and 9, but about 9.5 in reality. Man in motion, the wing back from left to right, Washington. Hohenberger in the shotgun, backpedaling, passing, and we have a pass interference call probably at the 50-yard line against Sulphur Springs.
Got there just a little bit early. I think he had his eyes on picking that one off, and all of a sudden he didn't have the lane he thought. So good effort, but we're going to end up giving them a first down on that one.
I believe that's Braxton Wall.
I think so.
Being called for the pass interference. The intended receiver there for Paris was Markelrick Finch. And so be an automatic first down.
That was an effort penalty. You can't get on people for effort, because he had his eyes on that pick six and it just didn't quite work out.
Still some discussion about this. Line of scrimmage was the 42-yard line.
Yeah, I think they were just trying to make sure.
Well,
it's a spot foul
because it's less than 15 yards.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I think that's all they were trying to do, was tell him where to put it.
Yep. If it's less than 15 yards downfield, then it's the spot foul. But if it's more than 15, then it's a 15-yard penalty.
Correct.
So first down.
Rule change from about 10 years ago.
But still an automatic first down.
Yes, sir. Either way.
So first down Paris at the 49-yard line. On the Paris side of the midfield stripe. A lot of time being taken here. They're still talking this over, the officials. I thought we were rolling the play clock again, but no.
We're going to go talk some more, too. They've all got walkie-talkies on. I don't know what some of these discussions, because the whole group has walkie-talkies on. And
Wildcats at home next week against Kaufman. That is the final home game of the season, believe it or not. And then 2 weeks from tonight, what is shaping up as a very, very big game against the Anna Coyotes at Anna. Anna is ranked number 3 in 4A Division I football in the state of Texas. And Tony said they were way up on Community, 37-0 in the second quarter, so no surprise there.
These guys just not getting it together right now on this one. I haven't seen that they've affected the game other than that one play we talked about at halftime where they took yardage back. But this one's confusing them.
And I don't know why it was so confusing. It was a pass interference call, and as you said, it's a spot foul because it was less than 15 yards downfield. Yep. So they have it spotted at the Paris 49-yard line, first down. That seems pretty clear cut to me.
Yeah, I think they've got it right where they got it, right where they need to. I don't know what the discussion is, but they need to wind that clock and get her rolling.
Seems like we've had a lot of this year, Tony.
Yes, I've seen some of it, and I don't. That's the thing we didn't like. You don't want to get a cluster together.
First down, Hohenberger handing off, and again they are trying a jet sweep here, and brought down for a loss is Keyshawn Roberts back at the 48-yard line. I tell you, they have had a lot of trouble with reverses and any kind of trick play at all.
We've had good pursuit all night.
Good pursuit.
Really nice. They're playing their blockers and stringing them out just like you coach them. That's just a great job.
Second down and 11. We had a play where they lost 12 yards on a bubble screen, and that one on the jet sweep. Second down 11. Hohenberger passing over the middle for Finch. Slanting in from right to left, makes the catch inside Sulphur Springs territory at the 40-yard line. On the tackle for the Wildcats, Austin Cheney.
Going to be at the 34. First and 10 going in on the 34. Nice little slant, quick, catch the ball, throw the ball. Good play.
18 yards on the gain. Hohenberger handing off. This goes to Tadrick Dawson. He's fighting off tacklers and still on his feet and is all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Brought down at the 13-yard line of Sulphur Springs, Truth Holmes. Finally coming over along with Laren Vaughn to bring him down. But it's a first down for Paris at the 12-yard line, or we'll say the 12. 26 yards on the game.
Just determination there.
Tadrick Dawson. Now Hohenberger on first down from the 12, moving in the pocket, looking for a receiver. I think he's across the line of scrimmage now. He will keep it, and he's going to pick up a decent gain here for Paris down to about the 7-yard line. And finally on the tackle there, defensive tackle Giovanni Solis for Sulphur Springs, and that is the end of the third quarter. Sulphur Springs leading 30-14 over Paris, but Paris threatening as we go to the fourth quarter. This is Sulphur Springs Wildcats football on KSST.
And we're back with Wildcat football up here in Paris, Texas. Your Sulphur Springs Wildcats are up 30-14. This is the start of the fourth quarter. Thanks to Tony Flippin for filling in there on the third quarter. Some great insight, yes, John Mark, don't you think?
Absolutely.
And he can always work in a story about Robert Cook and Charles Cromer. I wonder how much that cost him, to work those names in. Some I'm not going to say old officials. I'm going to say some well-tenured officials. So working the game for many years. So Wildcats doing good on both sides of the ball here. Currently, it's the Paris Wildcats doing well and moving on down the field.
Second down and 5 from the Sulphur Springs 7-yard line. Hohenberger in the pocket to throw, passing, and it is complete for the touchdown to Dicurian Douglas, and that's his second touchdown reception of the night.
And unfortunately, a late hit by one of the Sulphur Springs Wildcats after the reception, and so there's going to be another 15-yard penalty, I think, on the kickoff. Haven't called it yet, but here comes the official. I saw it clear as day there.
Personal foul against
Sulphur Springs.
So we'll have, again, the kickoff from the 45.
Yes.
So
not
30,
the good 45.
From the Sulphur Springs 45.
the very near 45.
So 30-20 now, Sulphur Springs leading by 10, and might they want to go for 2 and try to get this to a one-possession game, and apparently that is what they will do.
Yes, good call there, John Mark. That's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to try to make this an 8-point game.
Tight formation with only one wide receiver, 2 backs in the backfield. Hohenberger going to run it, and picking his way, he has the 2-point conversion for Paris.
That's going to make it 30-22. Your Sulphur Springs Wildcats over those Paris Wildcats. 11:56 left in this ball game. We've got us a ball game here, and we'll be back with the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff here on KSST in just a moment. And we're back with Sulphur Springs Wildcat football here on KSST. We've got us a ball game here, folks. 30-22. Wildcats about to receive your Sulphur Springs Wildcats about to receive the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff as the Paris Wildcats put 8 points on the board, making a touchdown and getting that 2-point conversion to make it an 8-point game. And like John Mark said before the break, that's just a one-possession game. So one-possession, scores is all they need. So. But Sulphur Springs has the ball, been having a pretty good time moving the ball down the field. That's why we've got such good scoring here. That third quarter going by way too quickly, as Tony Flippin pointed out. There just wasn't much to stop the clock. Not many incomplete passes, nobody going out of bounds, and that went very quickly. So we'll see how it's going to go here. After that penalty for a personal foul, I saw that one was a late hit on one of the Wildcats, hitting the receiver that made that touchdown a little late. So the Paris Wildcats kicking off from the Sulphur Springs 45. So this should be a deep kick and probably go out of the end zone, wouldn't you think? Well,
unless they might want to take a chance on an onside kick or some kind of short kick. Paul Torres is the kicker. He advances on the line. This is an onside kick attempt. And Sulphur Springs, will not get the football. Paris comes up with the football on the onside kick. How about that?
Yes, you called it, John Mark. That ball barely went the 10 yards that it needed. I'll have to check the tape on that. It looked like one of the Paris guys touched it before it made it 10 yards, but the official's still out there consulting on this one and talking about it. Paris Wildcats certainly, they think that they have recovered that onside kick.
Diego Avitua recovered the kick at the 35-yard line.
It is official. The Paris Wildcat offense will be coming out and taking advantage of their onside kick recovery. They'll be starting on the Wildcat 34.5-yard line there.
So tremendous swing here to Paris as they just scored on a 60-yard drive in 7 plays, and now they get the ball right back on the onside kick. Hohenberger in trouble and going to be sacked.
Yep.
2 or 3 Wildcats at least, and we're not going to get them all in here, but one of them.
No, the whistle blew.
Nathan Andrews was there. Also, Day Hall for Sulphur Springs.
And Ty Bybee was in on
Ty
it also.
Bybee, good.
Yeah, he got in there.
Loss, back to the 38.
Yep, they backed him up 3 yards, and the Sulphur Springs Wildcat defense is really going to have to dial it up right here to break this momentum for the Paris Wildcats.
If that was Ty Bybee, we had a safety blitz going there, too.
Absolutely.
Which may have accounted for that. Here is a bubble screen, actually a tunnel screen, and it is, again, going to be well defended by the Wildcats. No gain at best here for Sulphur Springs on the catch by Keyshawn Roberts.
There was a lot of effort there. He stayed on his feet and trying to break those tackles, but in the end, no gain. So it's going to be 3rd down for Paris.
The bubble screens and the jet sweeps, these have just not worked at all for Paris tonight. Sulphur Springs has been well prepared for those. 3rd and 13. For Paris at the Sulphur Springs 38-yard line. Ball on the near hash, they move right to left. Hohenberger running the option play to the right side, keeps it himself, crosses the line of scrimmage, and is going to be brought down to about the 31-yard line, flagged down on that play.
That was a beautiful arch that yellow flag made from the other side of the field on in there. I don't know if it was a
Holding Paris.
Okay, good. That's good for your Sulphur Springs Wildcats. That's going to back the Paris Wildcats up. They get that down over.
It would be 4th down and about 6. Instead, it'll be 3rd down and long, 3rd and
18, looks
18,
like.
yeah.
So this is very fortunate for your Sulphur Springs Wildcats. It's going to be 3rd and a mile for the Paris Wildcats, but they've had a pretty good time of converting these 3rd and 4th downs, so you better watch out.
30-22, Sulphur Springs leading. This is 3rd down at 18. Here's a reverse, and here is a flea flicker. Hohenberger now will throw it deep. Has a man out there at the 20-yard line. Was he in bounds?
Well, they're going to say he was, and they're going to move those chains. Big play for the Paris Wildcats, and they're going to be right on the edge of the red zone there in Wildcat Sulphur Springs territory.
23 yards on the gain on the flea flicker, and it goes to Daedric Dawson coming out of the backfield to make the catch. Draw play up the middle on this 1st down.
Yep, there's really looks like a rugby scrum out there, John Mark.
Douglas again on the carry inside the 15 to the 13-yard line of the Sulphur Springs Wildcats for a gain of 7 yards, 2nd down and 3.
Yeah, they give them a lot of forward progress there, and they're getting up to the line of scrimmage. Going to snap that ball quickly again. 3 receivers on the near side.
Hohenberger fakes the handoff, option play going right. Tough man to bring down, keeps his feet moving. Inside the 5 he goes, brought down at the 3, 1st and goal Paris.
Yeah, he needed a couple. He got 10, and it's going to be 1st and goal right down there knocking on the door of the end zone. It's, like you say, they're going to call it the 2-yard line over there on the scoreboard, but it looks like about the 2.5. But it's 1st and goal. Paris Wildcats got some momentum going here against your Sulphur Springs Wildcats. The defense really having to figure something out here.
30-22, Sulphur Springs leads by 8, 9:07 to go in the ball game. 1st and goal at the 3-yard line for Paris. Hand off to Chris Houston. Big hole over the right side. Houston scores standing up for Paris. And they can tie the game here with a 2-point conversion if that's what they decide to do.
I would say they're going to go for that because they set that up on the last score and 2-point conversion, and this is exactly what they wanted. I expect them fully to go for the 2 points and try to tie this up. 30-28 as it stands right now, pending the 2-point conversion. 9 minutes flat left in the ball game.
The touchdown set up on the onside kick recovery by Paris. At the Sulphur Springs 35-yard line, Hohenberger, the quarterback in the shotgun, has 2 blocking backs in front of him. Hohenberger plowing forward, has the 2 points. The game is tied.
We've got us a ball game here, folks. We're going to take a break. Back with Sulphur Springs Wildcat football here on KSST in just a moment. Welcome back to Sulphur Springs Wildcat football here on KSST. It's all tied up at Paris, Texas. 9 minutes left in the ball game. 30 for every Wildcat that's on the field here, both sides. The Paris Wildcats just tying it up and getting the 2-point conversion. So they've got 30, and then your Sulphur Springs Wildcats 30 as well as they get ready to receive the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff from the regular point of origin here. The Paris Wildcats will be kicking off from their own 40-yard line like it was meant to be. And Sulphur Springs, a couple of receivers back all the way on the 10-yard line, one standing on the 8. Hopefully we're going to turn this around. Do you think they're looking for another onside kick here, John Mark?
Well, not kicking from the 40, I wouldn't think so. Sulphur Springs led this game 30-14 late in the 3rd quarter, not that long ago.
Yep.
2 consecutive scoring drives by Paris. Here's the kickoff. Coming down at the 6-yard line, going to be returned here by Skylar Lewis for Sulphur Springs. To the 20, to the 25, gets away from a tackle, 30, 40, Lewis steps out of bounds at around the 45-yard line. Great return there by Skylar Lewis. A 41-yard return by Skylar Lewis.
He broke a tackle where I just thought he was going to get wrapped up, and then broke a couple more coming down the sideline. Kind of got hit late after he came out on the sideline over here on the Paris side, but no call on that. The Wildcats are going to have pretty good field position on this drive as they get set up. They're going to mark him back here.
46-yard line.
Yep, 46 on the Sulphur Springs side.
Game is tied at 30-30. 8:50 to go. Brady Driver faking the handoff to Cameron Jefferson. Driver takes it himself off right tackle, slashing through the line across the 50 to the Paris 48-yard line.
So a good yard gain there by Sulphur Springs Wildcats. They're going to get up to the line of scrimmage, trying to get something moving here fast. 8:24 and counting on the game clock here. It's all tied up.
6-yard gain by Brady Driver. 2nd and 4. 3 men wide to the far side and 1 to the near side. Driver in the shotgun. Hit hard as he runs up the middle. He'll have a first down at the 40-yard line. And that was Corday Cooper. We haven't had a chance to talk much about him. He is a senior linebacker who's the outstanding defender for Paris. Last season he had 97 tackles, 6 sacks, 2 interceptions. And he laid it on Brady Driver that time.
Didn't quite tackle him, but more likely clotheslined him as he came through there. And but that moves the sticks, and it's going to be another Hooten's Hardware first down for your Sulphur Springs Wildcats.
8 yards on the game. Malachi Rowland in the ballgame. Takes the handoff. Draw play. Rowland. Big hole, and Rowland shoots through there all the way down to about the 25-yard line. They're still pushing each other around down there, and finally the whistle sounds.
All the way up to the 25, looks like.
15 yards on the game by Malachi Rowland, and a first down for Sulphur Springs. Hooten Hardware first down.
Another one of those wonderful Hooten Hardware first downs. Hooten Hardware, Emory, Texas, they're more than just nuts and bolts.
Those Rains Wildcats giving Pottsboro all they could handle tonight,
right.
We saw. Mm-hmm. So first down Wildcats, 7:05 to go in the game now. Here's the bubble screen. This is Jackson Hare, who had a big kickoff return for Sulphur Springs in the first half, and he makes the catch and ducks the first tackle and is inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line. Jackson Hare for a gain of 7 yards or thereabouts.
Yep, that's what it looks like here. There'll be 2nd and short here for the Wildcats. Well, they're going to mark it back another yard deep.
Give him the 19, so it's a gain of 6.
Yep, so it's going to be 2nd and 4.
Ball's on the far hash. Sulphur Springs moving from left to right. Clock is stopped at 6:55 to go. Cameron Jefferson in the ball game at running back. Driver fakes to Cameron Jefferson. I see a flag down over on the far side. Brady Driver held to a short gain here, if any gain, but a flag down over on the far side.
Could be a hold.
As it stands, it'll be 3rd and about 4.
Here comes the gentleman in the white
Personal
hat.
foul.
Oh, face mask
against Paris.
Yeah, so that be a lucky break for your Sulphur Springs Wildcats as they'll move on down the field, get a first down, and we'll see where they're going to spot that ball.
Be half the distance to the goal and just inside the 10, so it'll be 1st and goal.
6:49 left in the ball game, all tied up 30-all, and the Sulphur Springs Wildcats moving on down the field. 1st and goal on the 9-yard line.
30-30. Sulphur Springs led this game 30-14 going into the 4th quarter. Paris has come charging back. 1st down and goal. Driver takes the snap. Driver going wide to the far side. Paris does a pretty good job of containing the play, but Driver able to finally make the corner and pick up a couple of yards to the 8-yard line before he is run out of bounds.
Yeah, he dropped his shoulder and tried to get another yard or two out of there, but got pushed out of bounds. And so Brady Driver always doing a great job scrambling, and I like what Tony Flippin said, that he's got a little bit smarter as he's become a senior and
Sure.
steps on out of bounds. So.
Second down and goal from the 8. Driver looking to the sideline. 15 seconds on the play clock. Changing the play, comes up close to the line of scrimmage and delivers the message to the offensive lineman. Driver faking the handoff to Cameron Jefferson. Takes it himself off left tackle. In traffic. Brought down, I believe, at about the 4-yard line.
He got spun around and tackled there by the Paris defender, but made a little bit of headway all the way down to the 4-yard line, but they've got to get into the end zone here, John Mark. It's third down.
Of course, they could go for the field goal on fourth down, but they definitely want the touchdown.
Yes.
To give themselves just a little bit more of a cushion here against the Paris Wildcats, who are going to get this football back one way or the other with around 5 minutes or so to go in the ball game. So 30-30. It is third and goal at the 4. Ball on the far hash mark. Driver takes the snap. Driver going off left tackle, lowering his shoulder, and he's got the touchdown for Sulphur Springs. His 4th rushing touchdown of the night. Brady Driver.
And Northeast Texas Farmers Co-op says, way to go Wildcats, as Brady Driver puts 6 points on the board, 36-30. And Eric Rodriguez looks like he's coming out to make the extra point attempt here. So the Sulphur Springs Wildcats not going for 2, as they really don't need to, but Paris successful on their last 2-point attempts.
The kick, and the kick is partially blocked, but it is good. It barely got across the crossbar.
My goodness. So the Wildcats, Sulphur Springs Wildcats up 37-30 over Paris. 5:28 left in this ball game. We'll be back with Wildcat football here on KSST in just a moment. And we're back with Sulphur Springs Wildcat football here on KSST. It's been quite a ball game tonight, folks. We've got your Sulphur Springs Wildcats up 37-30 over Paris. We're awaiting the J. Hodge Chevrolet kickoff of your Wildcats will be kicking in. John Mark.
I tell you, let's not forget that kickoff return by Skylar Lewis to get that drive started.
Yes.
He returned it, out to the 46-yard line. I think he was started at the 10, so it's a 36-yard return. Yes. But got him in great field position, and then they go 54 yards in 7 plays. Brady Driver gets the 4-yard run on third down. And again, Driver now with 4 rushing touchdowns tonight, and that gives him 16 rushing touchdowns on the season. Eric Rodriguez advancing on the ball, end over end, coming down inside the 5 and rolls into the end zone for the touchback. Great kickoff by Rodriguez.
Yeah, so that's what we normally see from him, is those nice deep kicks. So the Paris Wildcats take it on the 25-yard line, their own 25 to start. That'll give them 75 yards to go. Talk about what's been the longest drive of the game so far.
Hohenberger, option play, and he is going to be caught and brought down either for no gain or perhaps for a loss. Well, and on that tackle for Sulphur Springs, it's Alex McCormick, and also in there Nathan Andrews.
They're going to mark him his forward progress, which will net out to be about a loss of 2 yards,
yep.
I think.
Loss of 2.
Yeah. But once they got him there and pushed him back, if they pushed him back another 10 yards, but that forward progress. So big crunch time here for your Sulphur Springs defense. 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6.
3rd and 6, game tied, 30-30. Flag down as they hand off, and it goes up the middle. Tadrick Dawson was hit by Laren Vaughn, the middle linebacker for Sulphur Springs, and stopped short of a first down, but a flag is down on the play.
And that looks like it's going to be in the area of a hold, of offensive hold, I would guess. So we'll see what the official says. We'll see if the official called it the same way as I did, John Martin. Paris backing up. So that's what it was. 10 yards back, but they get the down over, so that's going to be.
Pushes them back to the 20.
Yep. They got to get up to the 35, so that's going to make it 3rd and 16 about.
Yeah, put it on the 19, so right, it is 3rd and 16. Might be 2 down territory, even though they're deep in their own territory right now. Hohenberger in the shotgun, backpedaling, looking downfield, can't find a receiver, still looking for a receiver, going to run it, 20, 25 at the sideline, bumped out of bounds by Truth Holmes around the 32-yard line, short of a first down, but he got a lot of it back there. And they're going to have a fourth down here with 4:05 to go in the game, trailing 37-30. They say he gets to the 31-yard line.
Almost got sacked way back in his backfield, but dodged that tackle from a Sulphur Springs defender. 4th
and 4, they're going to go for it from their own 31-yard line. 4:05 to go. Sulphur Springs leading 37-30. Whistles. Sulphur Springs takes a timeout. They're going to talk about it and make the best decision there for your Sulphur Springs defense. We're going to take a break with them. 4:05 left in the ball game. Sulphur Springs up 37 over the Paris Wildcats 30. We'll be back with Wildcat football on KSST in just a moment. And we're back with Wildcat football here on KSST. Your Sulphur Springs Wildcats are up over Paris 37-30. 4:05 left in the ball game. Paris has the ball. They're making a decision again. What's the best way for them to convert this fourth down, John Mark? And boy, it's time for the Sulphur Springs defense to probably the most important play of the game right here. Well, I think they'll look for their quarterback, Trevin Hohenberger, to make a play. Spread the defense out and see what he can do. He is all by himself. Empty backfield. Hohenberger, the quarterback. Half roll, passing complete. Goes to Harper, the H-back. Yep. Hudson Harper. And that's enough for a first down. They're going to move those chains, so they convert it on fourth down. Move all the way up to about the 44-yard line on their own side of the ball. 13 yards to Hudson Harper, the H-back over the middle. First down on that 4th and 4 play. First down now from the Paris 44-yard line. Keep it on the ground. It goes between the tackles. And that is Daedric Dawson. Basically, no gain on that play. No, he got wrapped up and taken down by number 34 there. And that would be Truth Holmes. No, I beg your pardon. Nope. That is Nathan Andrews. I got you. Second down and 10 for Sulphur Springs. Dawson, the running back to the right of Hohenberger, the quarterback. The H-back. Harper in motion from left to right. Hohenberger bluffs a handoff, rolling out to his right, passing downfield, and incomplete over on the far side. Yeah, in and out of the hands of, I think that's number 17 was the intended receiver for Paris. And well-thrown ball, just couldn't connect there, so it's going to be 3rd and 9 here for the Paris Wildcats. They're going to need to get across the midfield line, get into Sulphur Springs territory to get anywhere close to a first down. Need to get to the Sulphur Springs 46-yard line. Ball is just shy of the Paris 45. Hohenberger on this third down and 9.5 passing deep and incomplete, intended for Douglas, but a flag down on the play at the Sulphur Springs 30-yard line, and apparently pass interference call against Sulphur Springs. Yes, we're going to have to see the call on this one. I guess they're going to call it defensive pass interference, so I didn't see it that way. And but they're all walking down the field here and moving them. That way. This would be 15 yards and an automatic first down. Yep. And would give Paris the ball at about the Sulphur Springs 41-yard line. Yep. Now, I did not see the pass interference myself on that play. No. But we're 50 yards away from it. So that's a lucky break for the Paris Wildcats. They're going to be on the Sulphur Springs side of the field on the 40-yard line, 1st and 10. 2:53 left in the ball game. Sulphur Springs Wildcat defense is really going to have to hold them right here. Chris Garcia, the center, out over the football for Paris. Wing back left. Pitch to Washington. And Washington on the jet sweep. Going from left to right. Not much there for him. He gets across the line of scrimmage, but that's about it. Well, they say that he did get 2 to the 38-yard line.
They're coming up the line of scrimmage pretty quick. The clock ticking down, 2:32 left in the ball game. They're getting the play called in from the sideline.
2nd and 8.
3 timeouts still on the Paris side.
Sulphur Springs leading 37-30. Time is getting short. 2:18 to go in the ball game. Paris at the Sulphur Springs 38-yard line. Hohenberger rolling out to his left, hit by Laren Vaughn.
And not a good decision by the Paris quarterback, as he could have stepped out of bounds and stopped the clock, but he tried to dodge and get another yard, but he did that right into 3 Wildcat Sulphur Springs defenders. So now they'll take a timeout. We're going to take a timeout with them. Wildcat football will continue here on KSST. 1:52 left in the ball game. Sulphur Springs Wildcats up 37 over the Paris Wildcats 30. We'll be back with Wildcat football in just a moment. And we're back with Wildcat football here on KSST. It's been a tense ball game, especially in the second half. The Paris Wildcats really coming alive and putting quite a few points on the board. What was 30-14 at the half there?
At the end of the third quarter.
At the end of the third quarter, and then now it's 37-30. Sulphur Springs over Paris, and the Paris Wildcats answering the call with 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. And boy, if they got a touchdown and 2 points right now, they'd be winning this ball game. So they've been marching down the field. It's 3rd down and 6.
3rd and 6, big play from the Sulphur Springs 36-yard line. Hohenberger fakes the handoff. Hohenberger shedding tacklers as he goes between the tackles, and will have the first down to the 23-yard line of Sulphur Springs for a gain of 13 yards.
Yes,
on that 3rd down and 6.
Good scramble by Hohenberger there, and he moves on up and gets another first down for the Paris Wildcats. Clock ticking, 1:38 left in the ball game. 2 timeouts left on each side.
3 men wide to the left side for Paris. H back outside the tackle on the right, running back to the right of Trevin Hohenberger, the quarterback. Hohenberger back to throw, moving around in the pocket, looking for a receiver, directing traffic, and run out of bounds by Truth Holmes. Look out, young man. There's a flag down. I hope that was not going to be considered a late hit.
Yeah, it was hard to tell when he got pushed out of bounds there, but the official talking with the Paris coach over here on this side.
As it stands, Hohenberger went out of bounds near the line of scrimmage. Might have been a loss of a yard or so.
Yes. Very smartly went out of bounds that time to stop the clock. 1:18 left in the ball game. Paris Wildcats on the 24-yard line. That's the line of scrimmage. They're marking it back a yard or 2. Still waiting for a call on this flag.
Steve Hohenberger, the head coach, not happy with whatever is being discussed, but I still am not sure that there won't be a penalty here against Sulphur Springs. It may just not be the penalty that he hoped would be called.
Yeah, well,
but we
definitely against Paris.
We did see a flag down. In fact, the flag is on the Sulphur Springs 18-yard line. That was a first down play. 1:18 to go in the game. Sulphur Springs leading 37-30.
The officials taking some time to get this one right. Here comes the call. It's going to be...
Oh, it's a false start against Paris.
Yep.
I thought the flag came much later than that.
Illegal formation. So not sure exactly what or why, but that's good for Sulphur Springs Wildcats. That's going to back them up a little bit. They're going to get that down over.
So that would push it back to the 28-yard line. It would be 1st and 15.
Yep, they're explaining that to Brandon Faircloth on the other side of the field. And I'll
tell you right now, that onside kick figures very big in this football game as Paris got the ball back right after scoring to make it 30-22. And then they went back down and tied the game at 30-30 after that onside kick. And the onside kick was made possible by a personal foul against Sulphur Springs on the extra point attempt.
Brandon Faircloth, a little strategy here, declining that.
That's surprising.
And so that's going to make it second down.
Second down and 10 from the 23-yard line. Hohenberger back to throw into the end zone, and it is picked off for Sulphur Springs by Austin Cheney at the 1-yard line.
This could be the game saver right here, folks, as Austin Cheney comes down with the pass. An interception for your Sulphur Springs Wildcats right on the 1-yard line. 1 minute, 10 seconds left to go in the ball game. The Sulphur Springs Wildcats up 37-30 over Paris, and so a couple of timeouts left on each side. We'll have to see if the Sulphur Springs Wildcats can hold on to the ball and run this clock out.
Cheney going for a receiver at the pylon on the near side. But Austin Cheney stepped in and made the interception. Terrific coverage there. And he went out of bounds at the 2-yard line. So Sulphur Springs at the 2 with 1 minute 10 left to go and leading 37-30. First interception of the season for Austin Cheney. Only 5 interceptions by the Wildcats this season. 3 of those by Giovanni Ibarra in one game against Community.
Of course, we expect the Sulphur Springs Wildcats to keep it on the ground, come up the middle, and try to keep the clock running. I also expect the Paris Wildcats to use their timeouts here pretty quick.
They have 2 timeouts. Driver in the end zone takes the snap, and Driver over the left side all the way out close to the 10-yard line. Brady Driver lowering his shoulder.
Yeah, he set up for that play in the shotgun, which was kind of surprising. You'd think he wouldn't have been so far back, but took that, went right up the middle, and got 6 or 7 yards.
Well,
so
they just don't have any plays with the quarterback under center. I mean, that's just how they're going to roll, you know.
Sure. Paris is going to call a timeout on this one. We'll take a timeout with them. We'll be back with Wildcat football here on KSST here in just a moment. And we're back. A very exciting game for your Sulphur Springs Wildcats here in Paris as they're 37-30 over the Paris Wildcats. 1:06 left in the ball game. Wildcats, after an interception, have the ball and just trying to figure out a way to run the clock down. They could get, if they just get another first down, it's going to be history. Brady Driver back to take the snap. I expect he's going up the middle.
Second down and 3. Driver off the left side, and Driver lowering his shoulder. Crosses the 10 out to the 13-yard line. That is good for a first down.
They'll move the chains, and Paris can stop the clock again here, and I would expect that they do. So we're going to take another quick timeout with them. We'll be back with Wildcat football here on KSST here in just a moment. And we're back with Wildcat football on KSST. This one's just about over. The Wildcats just need to take a couple of snaps and kneel on run the clock out. It's 58 seconds left in the ball game. They just maybe a couple more snaps ought to do it. The Paris Wildcats are out of timeouts. Do you have some more scores for us, John Mark?
I do. We'll get to those just as soon as we can.
They're coming up.
Cooper over Honey Grove, or leading Honey Grove, 34-21 late. So Driver now has Caden Mitchell, the backup quarterback, standing behind him by about 5 yards just in case a high snap or a bobbled snap or something should happen. But Driver takes the snap, goes to a knee, and Wildcats of Sulphur Springs should only have to snap it one more time. This is a game between 2 teams that are tied for first place with Anna, both teams with 2-0 district records. And if Sulphur Springs wins this game, as it appears now that they will remain undefeated in district play. There's Driver to a knee once more, and that should do it.
23 seconds
left. And,
but no way for Paris to stop the clock.
Wildcats won't have to snap it again. So Sulphur Springs will be 3-0 in the district. Paris will fall to 2-1 in the district, and the Wildcats will remain tied with Anna, which is leading Community 51-6.
So a
What a
very good ball game here at Paris Stadium, and Sulphur Springs Wildcats proved victorious over the Paris Wildcats 37-30, a long-standing rivalry. Like you said, going back almost 100 years. Haven't played every one of those years, but yes, still going back a long time. And the very tense game here, John Mark, but it came out really the big game saver was the very last one of the last plays of the game. Austin Cheney coming down with that interception.
That's the play of the game. Austin Cheney
absolutely
stepping inside the receiver there to pick that pass off at the 2-yard line, because otherwise I'm not sure the Wildcats, Sulphur Springs Wildcats, would have been able to stop Paris.
Yep.
And I was really worried if Paris did score a touchdown, what was going to happen on that 2-point conversion.
Oh, exactly.
Because their quarterback, Trevin Hohenberger, is just going to be very, very difficult to stop on a 2-point conversion.
Yep, but the Wildcats, your Sulphur Springs Wildcats made it, and they're going to be improving their record to 3-0, like John Mark said. So that's going to do it for us this time. You have something else to add, John Mark?
Again, what a night for Brady Driver. 4 rushing touchdowns tonight for Sulphur Springs, and he just continues to take the team on his shoulders when it's needed, and get the first down or get the touchdown or whatever it is needed at that given time.
That's going to do it for us up here in Paris. We're going to see you at Gerald Prim Stadium next week, where the Wildcats will take on
Coughlin Lions.
Yes, and that should hopefully be an easier game, but we always think that, and they could turn out to be tough. We had Matt Jansen on the camera tonight. Of course, John Mark Dempsey on play-by-play, and then color commentary duties shared by myself, Chad Young, and then Tony Flippin came in and helped us out with that, as well as some halftime work. Back at the studio, we have James Terry keeping us on the air. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you here next time for Wildcat Football on KSST. Back to you, James.